And I'm here. Oh my gosh. I'm a silly Billy again. Oh wait, I need to readjust myself. I'm a bit big, aren't I? I'm a bit big. I'm a bit big. Hello to learn. Thank you. Have you watched the short that Talan posted? I posted. Talan made it. It's a fun little. I'm getting my gloves on. I'm getting my gloves. Oh my gosh, my microphone's blocking my tracking camera. Darn it. Glove. Number one glove. Get on. Hello everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. I am doing okay. Oh my gosh, I want to hear a weird story that happened to me this morning. But it's weird. It wasn't that weird. I woke up relatively early, about 7 a.m. and I was going to try and get back to sleep, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of really awake, and I'm a bit tired. I need to get my body moving and stuff. So I'll have breakfast, watch a bit of a video, get some notes made and stuff, get some minor work done that I can do on my phone. And before I knew it, I was back to sleep again. And I had the weirdest dream. I say it was the weirdest. It's kind of just a weird dream. I dreamt that for some reason I walked into a room, a bunch of people there, I didn't really pay any heed, and someone jumped on my back and their arm wrapped around my front a little bit, like over my shoulder, and they were wearing a really fluffy jumper. That's exactly like one I have. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so soft and fluffy, and I'm so tired. I'm just going to grab this arm with this fluffy jumper, rest my head on it, and go to sleep. And that's what I dreamt of for like 3 in real life hours, just sleeping. Not a dream within a dream like Inception, just literally just lying there, just resting my head on this nice, soft, fluffy jumper sleeve thing. It's like, oh, this is comfortable. I'm happy. Yes, I just sleep here. And I was just like, I don't know. It was weird. And then I woke up, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's getting late. I need to get stuff done, but now I actually feel exhausted. No. What's up, green and purple? How you doing? I'm doing okay. Now, it's really weird that now most people associate with green and purple when it used to be yellow and pink, and it will one day again be yellow and pink. I need to get... I'm finally starting to recover from this cold. I'm going to take tomorrow as a full day of recovery from the cold. And I'm going to be like... So no streams tomorrow, unfortunately. I'll just be taking a day off, recovering from my cold, getting some thumbnails made for the week so I don't have to stay up tonight. Oh my gosh, 7 months ago. It's the 1st of December.
underscore Capcom heart. Capcom heart, comma underscore heart. Heart underscore Capcom nerd. Capcom nerd, comma underscore nerd. Nerd underscore Capcom cupcat. Capcom cupcat, comma underscore cupcat. Cupcat.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you for being a member for 7 months running, Elite Trainer. Oh my gosh, that's insane. You got a galaxy cupcake and everything. Oh my gosh, by the way, do you know Queso? I don't know. Wait a minute. Is he the one that everyone always makes overweight jokes about? I only know about him due to the memes that sometimes go viral. Oh, also he was mentioned when it was like on some streamer award thing, and apparently he's an okay guy, kind of chill fellow in real life. That's all I know about him for memes, and about he's a chill fellow in real life. I've been forgetting that Cupcake read out for monthly free super chat. Yeah, Cupcake reads everything. Cupcake loves to read. Flick, hello Flick. Oh, so Yahoo Ghostman, how you doing? How is everyone doing? Yahoo, Lord Fernard. Lord Fernard. Lord Fernard! Is the F silent? Am I meant to say it or not? Flick. Flick. Also, should I be giving out? I can give out 10 free memberships again. Should I give them out now, or should I wait till the 3rd of December like I've been doing for a few months? You know, I'll give out 5 of them now, and then I'll give out 5 of them on Tuesday. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Oh, get this. A gift? Also, we get to look at all the cool things. Oh my gosh, Nathan, Lulusty, Kilowog, Jacob, and Horace Rondo all got membership. Oh my gosh. I need to figure out how to stop those random emotes appearing. A gift? Like that one, like they do that one, because some of them are very sus emotes that appear. I don't know how to get them. But if you're wondering why I seem a bit different, like I'm a bit over of leaning forward, it's because I move my tracking camera is for handcams, so it's lower so it doesn't get blocked off by everything. And so if I can look down without losing tracking instantly. Thank yourself for gifting. Thank yourself for gifting. Thank me for gifting me. For gifts are free. For gifts are free. I can gift away 10 memberships and it costs me absolutely nothing to do so. Hello, Branry. How are you doing? Oh, wait, I'll gift the other ones on Wednesday, maybe. Because I'm planning Wednesday evening membership stream. Yes, I've already got the schedule made. Actually, wait, can I see the schedule? Can I bring up the schedule here? That's the thumbnail for today. Schedules. Here's the schedule of the coming week. You get to see it firsthand. Oh my gosh, look how big it is. There we go. There you go. See, I got a member stream. It's like we don't do enough member streams. Yahoo, Bunny. Yahoo, Wohel. How you doing? So we got Halukyo, Warhammer Total War, obviously. Project Somber. Oh my gosh, that means they're not done Halo for 2 weeks. Oops. I have to take a rest day this week, and I've been enjoying Project Zomboid, so and we need to do more Warhammer. That's what half the people on my channel are here for, Warhammer. How is it? When you love Squigs, I love Squigs too. The music is interfering. The music's interfering with my voice. I'll try to turn it down, maybe. BGM is loud. Is it louder than normal? It shouldn't be. Okay, I've turned it down though. I've turned it down. It's at its normal setting. But oh, I might also be quieter than usual because I had to reposition my microphone. Handcam streams, everything's a little bit off about them. You know.
That's the end screen BGM BTW.
The end screen BGM. The end screen BGM is always really loud, but now the end screen BGM's not on at the moment. This is the end screen BGM. Bow, 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 bow. Super loud. I can't hear the BGM, by the way, at all. I know some people have it playing so they can hear it, but I'll be distracted by that. I'll just be constantly singing along with it, like, oh my gosh. Yeah. The end screen BGM is super loud too. Yeah, the end screen BGM's meant to be louder. I don't know why it's so. Oh, I'm definitely speaking quieter than normal. Let me move my microphone where I normally have it, which is about here. Am I louder now? Oh, wait a minute. Let me check, because sometimes it changes my microphone settings. Sound open volume, sound settings. Microphone is slightly lower than normal. Okay. No. Oh, that was weird. That was weird. Let me check the settings here. Let me check something about the settings. Because it was trying.
Cupcake Turtle, and Nintendo cannot copyright me.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Okay, now that is the correct microphone. Good. Good. Sorry, my system ended up putting my document camera as my default microphone. So I was slightly worried, but OBS is still using the correct microphone. So, hello, Dibunson. How you doing? Going bye-bye, Ghostman. It was nice of you to pop by. And howdy, Nathan. How you doing? Sorry, I was a bit distracted. I was a bunch of messages came in while I was checking my microphone settings. You got a membership. You did not say you said K. That's not how you say K. That's how you say K is K-A-Y. You're good. Yay! I'm glad you're doing well. What happened to that child? Yeah, it's a cupcake turtle. It's a turtle that got turned into a cupcake. Yeah. Also, what does membership mean? Orcs was your first one. Oh, it was one of my first ones too. Technically, it was Space Marines. Then I swapped it for Tyranids. Then I got into Orcs. And for Orcs are like my first proper army that I, built up quite well. Yeah. What does membership mean? Membership means it was gifted for free by me. And it means that you get access to things like membership contents. If you go on the community page, there's extra messages that I randomly send, which are just for members only. And it also gives you, it allows you to use the special emotes we've got in the chat, which, these types of emotes, these ones, like these ones. And that's the sort of stuff that allows you to do. Can't wait to see Capcom paint some squids. I'm not actually doing any painting. I'm building stuff today because I've got loads to build. We'll eventually get back to painting. Actually, I did order a bunch of spray paints for primering, but they've not arrived yet. That's partly because I ordered them at the same time as the pre-order stuff and some stuff that was out to stock. So we're going to have to wait. I didn't know what member... He was just asking to flirt. I see, I don't know how to flirt. I don't recognize that sort of stuff. Don't give Cupcake knives. He will stab you immediately with a tearful smile. He will. Cupcake is crazy. She hates paint. I don't hate paint. I just have too much to build. I need to make room for stuff. And then once I've got enough room being made, I'll get better into painting. Also, when I get my spray paints, like I can't paint Tyranids until I get my lighter colour spray paints because I don't like the Tyranids I've painted so far because they're not painted. Well, let's get to the Handcam. Love heart. Love the Squigs. Look at the Squigs. Look at the squigglies. Squigglies. Also, more squigglies. We got 20 squigglies. Also, I just whacked the microphone. I'm sorry. Conjuror is a shonen protagonist in terms of density. Look, I'm an artistic weirdo. If the camera's a bit too dark or a bit too whatever, tell me please. Also, I'm gonna have to change my manually correct the zoom on this potentially. But yeah, we're gonna get 20 squigglies made. Actually, what size of spaces are squigs meant to be on? That's what I even want to know. What size bases are Squig riders meant to be on? Okay, this is Squigs. This is Squigs. Is this Squigs? That looks like Squigs. Yeah, that's Squigs. That's boss. That's more Squigs. That's trolls. That's night goblins. That's trolls. And that's just a random night goblin lord. Yeah. You actually don't. What is flirt? Who is flirt? When is flirt? Where is flirt? Defacing public property is so romantic. Oh, defacing public property is not romantic. Also, let me do the properties. Let me configure the video. Let me change the zoom on this thing.
Toby.
What? Who's Toby Cupcake? What's Toby? Let me... There we go. There you go, that's focus. Apply! Okay. Okay. We call gits your gits. Yeah. Okay, so it's squiggly actually a term used in British English. And what about git? Okay, git is a term used in British English. Squig, not so much. But this sort of stuff definitely is. Okay, that is actually a bit dark, isn't it? Do you want me to turn up the brightness a little? Because when it shows colour, I need to lower the brightness a little bit so it can actually show colour accurately. I'll raise it to -18. There we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. Yeah, my gloves aren't just a pitch black darkness now. But yeah, here's the Squigs. I put some paper info way off one of my lights because it's just causing so much reflection. So yeah, here's a squig. This is a thing. Is this a thing? Wait, is this the same? No, that's face. Those are squig faces. Those are arms and pieces like here. Oh, that's the same spoof. These two are the same. Then, oh, these two are the same spoof. Oh, I get it. So this would be connected to here. Yeah, but it got snapped. And this piece would connect to here. Oh. Yeah, we got 2 sets of 5 squigs. These are gits, but Grimgor is the true git. Yeah, git is normally actually an offensive term in British English. Like if you call someone a git, you usually go in, you git, I hate you, I'm gonna stab you. Like that, like that. That's what you do when you got gits. You stab them really aggressively. Except sometimes if you're like really good friends with someone, you'll be like, come here, you git. It's like, oh no, I git. I've heard it's like you just punch one another in the face, you know, in a friendly way. Give one another a couple of black eyes. Maybe break a leg or two. Yeah, that's how like British pub goers and so on, they make friends, you know. Who's the biggest git? Grimgor or Gaskell? Gaskell is a much bigger git. Quite literally. Gaskell is like this big of a model. Grimgor was like this big of a model. Grimgor is like big for an orc, but big in the same way that I'm big for a person, being over 6 foot. While Grimgor is big. Gaskell is like big for an orc in the same way that Gulliman is big for a human. I mean, Gaskell had a giant mechanized skeleton as a minigun, and is in a mech. I'm pretty sure if he was taken out of his mech, Grimgor would stomp. Actually, I don't think so, because he's wearing a mega suit, but inside his mega suit is still a massive orc. I'm absolutely massive orc. Like, Grimgor struggles against Archaon, right? But Archaon struggles against a normal human in a fight. And Grimgor will also struggle. Like, Grimgor and Archaon would both struggle against the best duelists and the best priests of Sigmar in fights. But while they'll still probably win, it would be a fight. There's not a single normal human that's not a space marine who could take on unarmored Grimgor. Like, unarmored, unarmed Grimgor. But not Grimgor. Gaskell Thacker. Yeah, Gaskell, unarmored and unarmed, would probably crush almost any human. The only exception is probably Yarick, and that's because the orcs respect him. And even then, he kind of goes easy purposely on Yarick because he knows he's just a squishy human. But he fights proper good as a general. So he wants him around as a general. BRB, bye-bye. Robot Girlyman isn't human though. That's exactly the thing.
I'd win.
You would win, Cupcake. Don't worry about it. You're adorable. Gaskell couldn't beat you. Hey, Ramon, how you doing? Oh, so hello, Anthony. Yeah, no, Gaskell is... Yeah, Gaskell is about as close to a human. A Gaskell is about as close to a normal orc as... Maybe not Girlyman, but a custodian is close to being a human. They kind of both come from the same generic stock. But Gaskell has evolved well beyond that of a normal orc. He's smarter than orcs, he's bigger than other orcs, he's stronger, faster. He's not quite on the levels of a beast and the primarchs and stuff. But he's definitely at the point where there's very few orcs that are on par with him in terms of pretty much any sort of regard, whether it be intellect, strength, speed, luck, tactics, all of those. It's got to be so funny when new DLC drops and I hear streamers talk about goal of... Oh, that would actually be a difficult word to say on stream without it necessarily making some... As a British person, it literally just means cigarette. Grimgar is a menace in Warhammer 3. YouTube will have a seizure. It's true. That's why I don't want to say that name. I'll just call him Golf. I'll call him Golf. I'll call him the Golf Hag. I actually wonder why they didn't rename him Golfang. Why could it be better? It's probably due to wanting to keep to the source material. Oh, I needed to check out what basis Squig hoppers are meant to be on. Let me check. Let's go to our favorite website. What time is it? It's Warhammer website time. Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? New tab, Google Chrome. No. Here you go. Yeah. Okay, we actually need to be on this page. The first time the trailer was uploaded on YouTube, it got restricted for a short time because of... Oh my gosh. Oh, that's not going to be good. But yeah, we need to find the Squig hoppers and find what base they're on. Are the Squig hoppers actually here? That's kind of the correct model, but no. Oh no, they don't have Squig hoppers in the old world yet. They do in the rule book. Okay, now we need to figure out what type of size space they're meant to be on. So let me Google Squig hopper old world base size. Actually, I might be able to get it if I go to the army books on my phone. So give me a moment. Let me open the old world stuff. Old world. Old world. There we go. Apps opening. You could not look in the box instructions there. No, it's because these are Age of Sigmar models. Age of Sigmar. And they all have round bases. So if we look, Old World uses square bases, and the different sizes to the round bases. Where are they? See, round bases, but we want to put them on square bases. So I think it's just the same 25 millimeters. Hello, Tony. How you doing? Oh, so where did I put my phone? I was opening it up. Red Loonies. Night Gobbo Squig hoppers. Did it tell me for base size here? Sorry, it's loading. It's taking a while. Okay, unit category. Base size 25 millimeter. Okay, I've got for base size. It's just 25 millimeter, which is the same base size as everybody else has. All for infantry. So it's the same base size as we're using last time. And thankfully, because we got a bunch of spare bases last time, I've still got 4 of them right here. But I'm now going to have to get my 3D printed bases out. Just calculate it based on the square bases. No, that's the thing, because sometimes the bases are very different. Yeah, I got 25 millimeter bases here. Model train parts. It's not as easy to glue onto these ones, but... Oh, they're not 3D printed. But they're definitely not Games Workshop ones. These ones are unfortunately made in China. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Yeah, look at all these bases. Look at all those bases. Yeah. It doesn't... Yeah, for base size, it's like... I think these guys might be on 32 millimeter normally. Actually, we can check with the Games Workshop website. If we go to Age of Sigmar... Go to destruction. Go to gloom spike. Oh, I used to. I like spiders. I want a forest goblin army still. Here we go. Boingrot bounders, we call them now. Not squig hoppers. Boingrot bounders. 10 squig hoppers. Yeah, these guys on 32mm round basis, which is a lot larger than you'd actually think, because they're not on 32mm square basis, but on 25mm ones. Yeah. Also, let me move my chats around. I just realised I forgot to pop out this chat and move it over here so I can see you guys easier. You're trying to sleep. I got a warm coffee next to me and hooded in my blanket. A coffee! That's what a caffeine. How does that help you sleep? You need to have a drink full of cola. Cola! No, a hot chocolate. Isn't that normally for sleepy time drink? Okay, let's go and look for numbered pieces. I'm not using instructions, so I'm hoping that the numbers on the pieces represents what order you're meant to use them in. 2. Also, when you don't use instructions, it allows you to build stuff in a more unique way, you know. 2, piece number 3, that's number 6, 17, 7. Oh, 3 is over here. Yeah. And piece number 4. Oh, that's piece number 5, so that's the next model piece. I'm guessing piece number 4 is going to be... Binary's just built different. Bro needs Horlicks or whatever stuff is actually made of. Yeah. I have no idea what Horlicks is made from. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we looking for piece 4? Yeah, we're looking for piece 4. Piece 4. Bam, bam, ba-da-dum. Piece number 4. Oh, number 4. Okay, I don't think piece number 4 is going to be over here. If I'm honest. Okay, that's piece number 8. So maybe. These are all very high numbered pieces. I might need to use the instructions. They're not in a very logical order. Coffee sleep. Albert also uses caffeine to get to sleep. And I've heard it can actually help some people sleep, caffeine. 9, 8. Okay, I just want to know what happened to piece number 4. That's number 6. That's number 56, 63, 62, 12, 14, 7, 11. 7, 11 are next to one another. Okay, piece number 4 is definitely not here. So 48, 47, 33, 31, 34, 37, 36, 39, 59, 60, 64, 49, 50, 42, 40, 41, 51, 60, 65, 39, 28, 32, 45. Yeah, none of the 4s are here. But it's not here either. What? Oh, here it is. Oh, no, that's 14. Never mind. That's 14. I thought I found it. It was 14. Found 13. I found it. Piece number 4 is here. It's a goblin. Here's piece number 4. Goblins stole your piece. No, goblins are for peace. A piece of a fossil. A fossil puzzle. my gosh, a triangle goes in the triangle hole. A square goes in the triangle hole. A circular goes in the triangle hole. Yeah. Okay, and how do you get up to here? Really don't go on it yet. Yeah. Because number 5 is another squig piece. Cupcake considers the instructions as a form of weakness. It's true! Instructions are a form of weakness. Also, we should make just all of the pieces modular so you can swap them in and out whenever you want. Okay, are we gonna get them? Do I actually have the instructions in here, or did I throw them away because no one needs instructions? Only weird, weak people need instructions. Oh no, there's no instructions in here. There's no instructions! I threw them away! Reading is her weakness. The instructions are an admission of weakness. No, I'm not. I can read. Look, I have to read your chats every single day. I'm pretty sure I know how to read. Oh no, there's no instructions in this box either. Wait, I found them. Get flashbang, bro. There we go. There we go. Oh. Oh look, what other pieces we have. And we're not using them stupid bases. Them silly bases. We're not building trolls. We're building squigglies. Oh, it wants me to build all the squigs before I do anything else. No, I want to build one squig at a time, you jerk. So that way I can make sure that they're going to line up information nice and neatly. Oh, they are modular. Nice. So I can pick any squig face I want to. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as long as I pick pieces that are, numbered next to one another. So piece 31 and 32 should go together, right? Right, but where's 32? 36, 37, 33, 34, 31, 35. Or should we check? Should we make sure? Yeah, okay, good. Good, good, good. So 37 and 38 definitely go together. $34, $33. Where's 32? I want 32. Oh, there's 32. It's over here. Okay, we'll take 31 out. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. And then we could take 32 out on a date. A night out under town. Who wants to go on the town? Why would he go out on the town? There we go. There you go. So these two pieces should go together like that. Oh my gosh, we got a squiggly face. A big tooth. I'm not going to punch him for face and steal that tooth, you know, one day. But you shouldn't grow your teeth big. So British people have bad dental care because if you got nice teeth, someone's going to punch you in the face and steal your teeth. So we purposely don't have good dental care, so that we don't have nice teeth, and so no one steals the teeth and uses them to buy stuff. Goes together like a dish. Oh, I bet it's got a little hole in its head. And do you go in the hole in its head? Do you? Oh my gosh, you do. He does go in the hole in the head. Oh my god! He fell off. He fell off. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that Gobbos fell off so hard. I used to like that Gobbo. Then one day he just fell off. Is that what they say about content creators now, if they fall off? Like, if they're not as popular anymore, or you don't like them, or they do weird stuff, and it's like, ugh. There we go. There we go. I don't know. I don't keep up with all the hippie lingo you kids used it. I've never kept up with the lingo. People say stuff and I'm like, what? That's not the Queen's English. It's like, we got a king. It's like, I don't care. It's the Queen's English. It's not King's English. It's not reading chat, but couple. No. I am reading chat. I was hoping you were punished for your hubris. No, I cannot be punished on my hubris. I don't have any hubris. It's fine. Look how tall he is. Because he's got a tactical... He's got a tactical gust of wind, a tactical mushroom, and a tactical rock, and a tactical frog to be stood on top of. And maybe a snail too. Here we go. B to Queen Bee communication. It's not reading chat, but Cupcake and Cupcake is singing Cupcake food dance like a bee. No, that's not what's happening at all. We usually say they fell off when they re-emerge into popular media after being gone for a while, even though they kept being active. Oh. There we go. That makes sense. There we go. Done. Actually, it's not done. I need to build a little gobbo now. So we need to give him a head. I'm guessing I can choose any one of these heads. Where are the heads actually? Where are the gobbo heads? Oh, there's a gobbo head. I was looking at the wrong side. That's a silly face. Can you see it? I'll show you it. I'll show you it. Video capture device properties. Configure video again. Gosh, OBS. Camera, why do you have to be so annoying? Focus. There we go. Look at that silly face. That one. It's so silly. It's such a silly Billy. Yeah. We'll give him the silly goober face. And it'll be like... Who's a silly goober, yeah? I'm a silly goober, yeah. Where was silly goobers, yeah? Silly goober, goober. Oh my gosh. I know it's a Goofy Goober song, and I changed it to a Silly Goober. But you know, I think Silly Goober is significantly less catchy, and as a result, it deserves a song. Okay, now we can just give him a little sword. And then we got a little happy dude. Let's give him a little lance. Let's give him a little lance. A little lance in his pants. Banana. A little lance in his pants. Da-da-da-da. A little lance. A little lance. A little lance. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, I actually have an army of these in Warhammer Total War at the moment for my off-stream campaign I'm doing with Wurzag. And honestly, at the moment, they're not doing so well. They've been okay against the dwarves, but then I forgot, while their anti-infantry capabilities are really good against dwarves, and the fact that they only have infantry, it's really bad against dwarves because they can't really stand in combat, and dwarves don't really break very often. And they've also got a lot of mass. And as a result, it's hard for them to escape combat with the dwarves. Okay, maybe this lance doesn't work here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The lance seems pretty cool. It's a goblin lance. Look how flippity the end is. It's like, oh, blip, 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 blip. Oh, blip, 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 blip. And look, it's got a little armored plate. These guys are much more armored than the original ones. The original Squig Hoppers. The original Squig Hoppers had no armor, effectively. Although I think they did have armored Squig Hoppers, and that's where you get the Regiment of Renowned. I think they were like a Forge World model. Oh, yeah, here we go. Look how cool. It's like a little knight. Like a little gobbo knight. Oh my gosh. I'm a gobbo. I'm a goofy gobbo. Look at that big squig though. He's gonna eat your face. Oh my gosh. I wonder how dangerous these are, because I got the squig hoppers in my army because I thought it'd be funny. But I never actually checked how powerful they are. So I'll compare them to a Space Marine stat. Okay, so what does a Squig Hopper actually have? Game view. Here we go. Special units. Night Gobbo Squig Hopper mob. They got cavalry spears, some for charge. They get +1 strength and armor piercing -1, and can fight in an extra rank. A charge off a Gobbo brigade. It's true. Wait, let me put him down here so you can see him. They get an impact hit. So once they charge in, they get an additional just 3 hits against you. But it's as strong as the Squig. Oh, which is strength 5. Oh my gosh, Squigs are so strong. They're stronger than Space Marines. A Space Marine's only strength 4. These guys are strength 5. They got weapon skill 4. They're skilled as a Space Marine in combat. Initiative 4, they're as fast as a Space Marine. And they get 2 attacks. Oh my gosh. And they get 3d6 movement. So how far they move is, and this equals the number of inches. Oh my gosh. 17 inches. There we go. Oh my gosh. Immune to psychology, random movement, skirmishers, warband, open order. So I could actually have these guys on round basis since they don't need to be in rank. They hate dwarves apparently. They don't have any armor piercing, mind you. Oh wait, only the boss has. Wait, no. Boss? Squig Hopper. Oh no, the Squig Hoppers are the dudes on the Squigs. The squigs that they're hopping on top of are called bounder squigs. Okay, so they're pretty powerful. They're pretty powerful. Oh my gosh. They're way stronger than gobos. Osaurus is comparable to Space Marines in Old World. I've heard they kind of the Age of Sigmar equivalent. Osaurus. Let me check. I know Osaurus used to be pretty tough, but they were really, really slow. Like, dwarves were also very tough, but also really slow. Lizardmen. Bump. Create list. Special, not special units. Core unit. Saurus warrior. Let's look at them. No, they're not Space Marines. Their toughness, and strength is equal to a Space Marine, at least in old War 40k, back before they have the current way of doing things. Yeah, but for initiative 1, meaning they're extremely slow. They do get multiple attacks, mind you. But for initiative 1, a Space Marine, back when we had initiatives in 40k, was initiative 4, weapon skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4, 1 wound, 1 attack. A Saurus warrior, and I think leadership 8. A Saurus warrior is weapon skill 3, strength 4, toughness 4, initiative 1, which is terrible. Like, they'll always be going last in combat. To make up for it, they do have 2 attacks, and they are leadership 8. In terms of armor, they have scaly skin, which gives them a 5+ armor save, and shields, which ups it to a 4+ armor save, as long as they don't have double weapons. The cold-blooded, which means they are generally harder to make fear. And they have obsidian blades, which have the armor piercing -1. So they do armor piercing damage. So they are pretty powerful and tough. They're just not as fast, as tough. They're not quite marine level. They're not quite marine level. Chaos Warriors used to be more marine level. Because I believe Chaos Warriors used to all be in plate armor, which meant they had a 4+ armor save. Now they only count as being in heavy armor though. And Chaos Warriors used to be weapon skill 4, initiative 4, strength 4, toughness 4, 1 attack, plate armor with a shield usually, meaning that they had a 3+ armor save just like Space Marines had, which put them on par with Space Marines, and often you'd find Chaos Warrior models were used as Chaos Space Marines, because they were also similar size and similar look. They used to be called the Warhammer Space Marines, the Fantasy Space Marines, sorry, until Age of Sigmar came along and gave us the Sigma Marines. They are tough, but a lot of factions are very tough. Dwarves are like initiative 2. Let me look at the Warriors of Chaos over here. Got actually a list of them here. Yeah. Basic Chaos Warriors have heavy armor, and so that's a 5+ armor save. They are weapon skill 5 actually, so that makes them more skilled than a Space Marine. They're strength 4, toughness 4, initiative 4. So yeah, they're still definitely the Space Marine level warriors. Sigmarines is a bit of a misnomer. They're more like Custodes. Oh, they're more like Custodes. That makes sense. They are both golden after all. And are both like specifically designed for their god. But even do what? Like, toughness 4 is actually not uncommon. You often had Bretonnians were often also referred to as the sort of Space Marines of fantasy. Because, let me bring up like the Pegasus Knights. Yeah, because they're strength 4, toughness 4, weapon skill 4. The stronger ones are anyway. Not all of the Bretonnian Knights are. Dwarves are strength 3, but toughness 4, weapon skill 4. Orcs, I believe, are also weapon skill 3, but toughness 4. Yeah, toughness 4 is thrown around a lot in this game. Actually, let me check. Orcs. Yeah, Orcs are toughness 4, stem 3, weapon skill 3, initiative 3. Dwarves are initiative 2, though. Orc Biggins are strength 4 basis. So... Oh, Orcs are toughness 5 now, though, in normal 40k. Which is honestly quite crazy. Crazy for me, to me. It just seems absolutely insane for Orcs have tough. I would rather Orcs still be toughness 4 but have 2 wounds each. Actually, I think all of these pieces are interchangeable. I don't need to really have all the pieces be the same. And choose whatever pieces I want for them, I feel like. I don't have to do them in order. Yeah, because they all have the same triangles. Oh. Oh, yeah, they all do fit. I can mix and match the pieces as much as I want. Oh my gosh. I'm not used to this in the newer kits. Most of the newer kits that I use are not as modular and interchangeable as the old kits. I'd rather they have a 6+++ as they get bits blown off them. Yeah, Feel No Pain would also be good for them. I'd rather them have a 5+ Feel No Pain. I think a 5+ Feel No Pain would be really good. Make them toughness 4, 1 wound, 5+ Feel No Pain, so that they just randomly survive insane attacks. But mortal wounds will still kill them. I guess that doesn't need to be cut down neatly. Oh wait, I did something stupid with this. I'm having to rip his face off, I'm sorry. I forgot to give him a tongue. Oh my gosh, it comes with tonsils. There's a little tonsil in there. No, 5+ Nurgle, 5++ Nurgle. You don't know Offer Days, 5++ Feel No Pain, Death Guard. Perhaps. Oh yeah, wait a minute, you don't, wait. No. 6+ armor save, 5+ Feel No Pain. That would be good for arts. Because most of the time they either won't get an armor save, so it would just be straight down to Feel No Pain. I mean, and half the time it would just be Feel No Pain that they'd be having to take. Because Death Guard was so dangerous with 5+ Feel No Pain because, you know, they are Space Marines. They got multiple wounds and they've got 3+ armor save. 5+ Feel No Pain is not as bad on someone who's got a 6+ armor save and only 1 wound. Oh, I don't need to do that. Okay, we'll give him a little tongue now, while I remember. Oh, gosh. He's got a tongue. He's got a tongue! Watch out, he's got a nose! Pow, 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 pow. ASDF. Tomska. Wait, do some of these night gobos get the option to have helmets? Going to go now. Sleepy, have a nice dream. I hope you sleep well, Bunry. Sleep well. Have a nice, warm, whatever's.
Capcom nerd, the best nerd.
Capcom nerd, the best nerd. Thank you. I'm not a nerd. Wait. I'm not a nerd. Death Guard has a space marine, but +1 toughness costs Nurgle and 5+ feel no pain at the same time. That was so silly. Don't they still get feel no pain though? I thought they did. I don't know. I don't play Death Guard. I do like Nurgle though. Nurgle is fun for being tough. Oh, for when they started giving Nurgle just weird stuff like, you know, really tough units. Not really tough units, actual capable units. Like ones that can deal lots and lots of damage each turn, and yeah, I did not think that was necessarily a good idea. Okay, let's look how this works then. So this goes into here, right? We like this. Like this. Okay, I'm having to trim this down. And can this go here? Do I have to pick a specific body? No, I don't think this body can't fit into that part. Okay. Do they get an R of minus? No, if they get an R of -1 toughness, the stuff around them. So no Death Guard units. So yeah, your Marines are now toughness 3 to 5, depending on your chassis. Yeah. It makes sense. I liked them for just when Nurgle was just super durable, but barely dealt any damage. The issue was it was hard to deal damage to them. So the Nesh was a big damage dealers, especially at range for the most part. Like they could deal damage very, very quickly, but they weren't as good at taking it. Especially with the noise marines. Partly because while they could deal damage quickly, they were very expensive units. So it made you sure that you had a very fragile infantry-based army. Khan's main units were relatively cheap and obviously very good in combat. But that meant you usually had swarms of Khan berserkers occurring, and they could be supported with heavier equipment. And then Siege in general had expensive. Siege was weird. Siege was not good back in the day. Back when I played. I believe that they got extra. I think it was mostly that their bolt guns. They got an invulnerable save, and their bolt guns were slightly better. Like they got AP3 bolt guns or something like that, which is not bad. It's just, I mean, it was like, you know what? You could have AP3 bolt guns, or you could have a noise marine blaster cannon. And AP3 bolt guns are great until you realise that most of the enemies you come across that aren't Space Marines are going to be penetrated by your AP5 anyway. And with the extra points for the AP3 you were getting. And that your invulnerable save, for the most part, wouldn't usually get used. I've had 2 games of Nurgle HP Imperium ones. I just sacked an objective with Plague Bears, constantly being -1 to hit from a fly, shrugging off damage, and regenning models as demons. Oh, that does not sound fun for your opponents. Oh my gosh, this guy's barely holding on. He's barely holding. Look at him, he's flying off. I need seatbelts on these Squig hoppers. Maybe that's a conversion I needed to do. Maybe I needed to buy, like, get some 3D printed chairs or something. Or make some chairs for them. And have them all seatbelted on top of the Squig hoppers. Oh gosh, I'm a silly. There we go. Look at that. Roar! He's not roaring, he's just like... he's got a big grin on his face. A big toothy smile. Again, someone's got to punch your face out for those teeth. Oh my gosh, this guy skewered a mushroom. I'll show you the lens. Give me a moment. I'm cutting it out. Look at this! Skewered mushroom! There's not much room for a mushroom. Like roasted marshmallows. Okay, we got an armored gobbo. We're having an armored gobbo face with the longest nose you've ever seen. Look at that armored nose. It reminds me of Plague Bearers. And you know, some weird knight armor. Where they thought a long nose was threatening. Oh my... Oh, it's obviously to make him more aerodynamic. That's what's happening. The aerodynamic gobbo. He's gonna fly. Yeah, I don't have many stories like that from when I played. The gobbos are really, really fun. Yeah, I mostly played Black Templar, and sometimes the Feel No Pain save you could get on Black Templar really paid off. Other times it really didn't. I often went for that one though because, you know, it was generally the best. I say it was generally the best. It was generally... I got so used to my army being wiped out almost immediately that I often got it because I just wanted some survivability. Having 5, but I've told you before, it doesn't matter. When your Terminators only have toughness 4 and 1 wound, it doesn't matter that you got a 2+ armor save, you're gonna die. When the banner used to give you D3 HP of demons models back on a 1 and migrate and clean one was sat nearby, so everyone was on leadership 10 anyway, so I just rolled leadership checks anyway and undid everything. What? Oh. Oh. That's a bit similar how to people play Warhammer Total War. Undid all the damage you're taken, yeah. That's crazy. That seems a bit overpowered. Yeah. Oh. Back when I played, Terminators were like 40 points a model base without any upgrades. So a Terminator unit of 5 models was like 200 points. And they only had toughness for 1 wound, so it's very often it's like, hey, can you take 5+5 saves on your Terminator? It's like, yeah, one of them's dead. Oops. It's like, okay, I'm gonna fire my last guns now. Can you take 6 more saves? And then I'm like, okay, yep. It's like, oh yeah, 3 more of my Terminators are dead. This is legitimately the rolls I did. And it was just insane. It was like, okay, there's like a quarter of my army just gone right there. A single unit shot at them, and I failed a bunch of 2+ armor saves because I can't roll 2s or higher for the life of me. It's like I just proved it how easily I roll ones. Oh, I did that all the time. I was like, it was like guardsmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, squad of 10 guys. They've got a heavy weapon in the squad, so that's, and they've got a special weapon, and they've got a pistol. But the pistol is a last pistol. So they'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 normal last guns. That hits on 4s, and they're given them an odd, like reroll to hit to something. I was like, oh, that's a bunch of hits. But we get to reroll because of orders. Yay! Here's a bunch of hits. In a 2v2, and the enemy thinks that the Nurgle demons will be the easiest to shoot and kill when compared to the DG portions of the army. What's DG? DG. Death Guard? Death Guard! They changed their approach after a second time of that. Oh no. Have every wound on 5s. Yeah, I got it. Death Guard, 5s. And yeah, see, this is what the guardsman would do. They'd be like, okay, oh look, we rolled relatively well with the 5s. It's like, okay, for 6 plus 2, 6, 2 plus saves, 1's dead from the last gun volley, one of my Terminators is down. Okay, I rolled well enough to save them. We're like, okay, let me get my flame out as well. Oh, actually, I meant to do that one first, so I'll just roll 5 attacks on it. 5 auto hits, it wounds on 4s. Oh, look at that. For 4 successful wounds, it's like that's 4 more 2 plus saves. It's like, okay. Oh, that's another one of my Terminators down. That's 2. You've paid for your guard squad right there because your guard squad only costs 80 points. And they're like, okay, then here's a heavy bolter in the squad. It hits on 4s. And we get to reroll the hit because of the order. We get 2, and it wounds on 3s. That's only 1 wound. And then we save on a 2 plus. And we did save it. Oh my gosh, see, that way we did well. But usually I'd roll as well as I did it the first time and just completely lose a squad from a single guardsman squad shooting at it. It's not even enough last gun shots. It's literally below average. Like, on average, to kill a Terminator back then, you'd need 6 shots to successfully wound. Because one of them will fail on average. Then, out of that, you need 5s to wound with last guns. So, obviously, you need 18 shots. That's already well more than the number of last gun shots we had. So, you need 18 to successfully hit the model. And then you hit it on 4s. So, you need 36 last gun shots. And at close range, that means 18 last guns. We got shot by 7 last guns and a last pistol. And we lost the Terminator. Oh. And if you take my first roll, we lost 3 Terminators on the last guns. And 1 from the Flamer. And we didn't do the heavy bolter. Oh. But yeah, nowadays though, Terminators are toughness 5. So they're harder to wound, especially with bolt guns and flamethrowers. And heavy bolters. They got a 2 plus armor save, and they don't have a 5 plus invulnerable save. They now have a 4 plus invulnerable save, and they have 3 wounds. So, yeah, they're very tough. They're now a lot harder to kill. Some damn accurate last gunning from the guard and that first row makes you... It's not just damn accurate. They got, what? 6 wounds out of 10 dice? So that means they... On 10 dice, normally you'd get slightly over 3 wounds. They got 6 wounds on 10 dice. They did twice as well as averages. Really accurate. Hit really hard. In fact, 10 successful hits isn't all that crazy for guardsmen. Because if we're getting 16 a hit, actually that's a below average roll to hit, I think. Because rolling 16, no, not 16, 14 attacks, 15 attacks, at 7.5 should hit. Reroll misses because of the order. That would give you how many? Another 3.75. So on top of a 3.5, so that's 10, 11.25. So they should have got 11.25 hits, but instead they only got 5. They only got 10. So they actually did a bit less than average.
And
to
here,
hit.
chat, is the moment the Marines' Blair seethes over being flashlighted.
Yeah. Oh, so Terminators are now cheaper than they were back then. That's the weird thing. Space Marines are now much cheaper than they were back when I played. And they're way, way, way better. And apparently they're still not competitive. Or at least normal Marines. Apparently Black Templar are still competitive. Black Templar weren't competitive then. Black Templar were more expensive than Space Marines and had all of their same vulnerabilities. So yeah. They were not great back in the day. Okay, that's not the leg you want on these guys. Oh my gosh. Space Marines are a lot tougher now. Space Marines are way better. I do like the additional toughness, the additional wounds. I do love the additional toughness and invulnerable saves on Terminators. And Graphis armor being so tough. It makes Marines feel like Marines. You know? No, but the real big pain was not for flashlights. Like, the flashlights were annoying when your Terminators get taken out by it because everyone knows that a Space Marine player cannot roll higher than a 1 on when it comes to Terminators. That's a main pain when it came to ooh, that's a cool head. I want to give this head to one of my guys. Oh, look at this head. Look at this head. It's so cool. An armored knight gobbo. Yeah. Well, the pain came from, like, if you're going against guardsmen, Lehman Russ tank. Because back then they had this big brass template about this big. And they'll go, okay, do I have a scatter dice here? I actually do. How they worked was you place the explode the blast plate where you want it to go, so centered like over this model. And then you'd get your old-fashioned dice with your scatter dice. And you roll 2 dice. So you'd roll like this, and it will go, okay, it goes that way 8 inches, minus your ballistic skill 5. It goes that way 5 inches. This time would be safe. Usually what would happen is not that. It would usually go like that. That means it hits exactly where you said it would. Or it would scatter, but would roll really low, so it only moves 2 inches. Either way, your entire unit's hit. It's strength 8, so it wounds on 2s. And it's AP 3, so it ignores your Space Marine armor. So that's the entire squad gone. And gosh forbid if you decide to put your captain in the squad and you fail your 4+ invulnerable save. Because, oh my gosh, your captain's gone. Because his 3 wounds don't matter against toughness 8, because that's going to be an instant kill. Gosh, he's only toughness 4. Just looked up some Tawny win rate in 14th. With 49.7% is Black Templars. Oh, is it? I heard Black Templars are good. Maybe I heard wrong. Oh gosh, I told you these bases are not great when it comes to gluing stuff to them. What you want to do is really just soak the part of the base in glue where you want. Oh, and all the black comes off it. Ugh. Right behind Sisters of Battle. Ooh. Wait, where's other Space Marines though? Like, vanilla Marines? Do they have a decent win rate? Hmm. Basically, any non-chaos Space Marine are they higher than Black Templar on the list? Highest Space Marine looks to be Space Wolves at 52.4. That puts them in 5th. Ooh. Where's Vanilla Marines? Are they below Black Templar? I'm not surprised Space Wolves are there, actually. Space Wolves have always been relatively... I say always been. When I played, for relatively competitive. Always seem to have at least some level of competitiveness to them, comparative to others. There we go. Ooh. Where's the gobbo head? Here it is. But we need to give this Squig a face. Giving the Squigs a face. Making them feel beloved. 37 on 2. $38. Is it these two? Or maybe it is. Nice. Oh, this piece. 39. Yeah, Vanilla Space Marines as a faction is at the bottom at 42%. We also have a lot of games played, so I'm going back to chalk it up to new comp player base. Possibly. Although they do generally have a lot of less utility. Unless you decide to play a very specific style with them, which a lot of people won't. Like, another Salamander style seems to be pretty decent. There we go. Apparently the not Iron Hands, Imperial Fist style is not great. Third most played faction overall. Ooh, who's the most played faction? I thought Space Marines might be the top one. Eldar, maybe? No, not Eldar. I know Necrons are pretty cool. And Guardsmen? Guardsmen might be top. I know Tau seem to be pretty popular right now because I keep getting them all the time on Reddit. Custodes, maybe? No, not Custodes. Or maybe? I mean, what's this face place? Custodes. And that went viral. Oh, armored dude. armored dude right here. Chompy chomps. Where's your mouth? Take the mouth. Oh my gosh, this guy has a hand in his mouth. Oh. Like the hand's reaching out still. Looks like a gobbo hand, actually. It's to be expected to get a lot of new people making Space Marines the first army, and it'll be for first army if they take to a tourney. Makes sense. I know Black Templars are also quite common to start with, partly because, you know, Space Marines, if you buy Leviathan or whatever. And I know a lot of people will be like me and convert them into a different chapter. And apparently Black Templars is pretty popular with that. I say apparently, I keep seeing people post about that stuff, so... But that could be just consumer bias of what I see. But who's the most played top 2 played factions? Who pips out for Space Marines? Oh gosh, I'm boiling. I might have to open my window wider. Oh, I also might have my radiator on still. Super armored base. Okay, now what arm can I give him? Make him take a guess while I type. I've been guessing. Custodes, Necrons. Oh, Arcs. Arcs might be one of the top ones. And the other one was Tau and Guardsmen. Tau, Guardsmen, Arcs. Tyranids and Necrons. Okay, Necrons was... Oh yeah, makes sense, Tyranids, especially with the Leviathan set and stuff. I'll give for boss. This guy will be for boss. He'll get a big staff in his hand. Ba-ba-da. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da. What I feel really interesting is the top win rate currently is Imperial Knights. Honestly, I've seen a couple of things about Imperial Knights and I'm not surprised. Like people complaining about, oh my gosh, Imperial Knights seem impossible to beat. Why do they get so many powerful units so quickly? And it's like, while others are like, okay, so I just won with Imperial Knights. That's pretty fun. Can I give him this? Would it be wrong to give him this? No, whose head is it meant to go on anyway? His? Maybe his. Ooh. Wow, I mean, if there's another really knightly one gobbo here. You know what? Give me that head back. That didn't give me the head back. That gave me the body back. Give me the head. Oh, I'll give you to another body. Well, it's usually the Chaos Knights that do better than Imperial Knights because they just throw small knights out. That's what I'm used to seeing anyway. So seeing both a Knights faction and it being Imp is crazy. Oh. Yeah, I'm not. I don't really know much about the. As you can probably guess, what's competitive and what's not. I just go what I just buy what I think is cool. And sometimes I hear about what, but then you never know because people, especially on Reddit where I see most of the stuff, they're not necessarily the most knowledgeable or smartest cogs about. The cog in the wheelbarrow, the cog in the clock. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Look, he's now got a big hat. He's got a big hat. What did I cut out for? I think I did. Where did I put it? Where's this little staff? I swear I cut out the stuff and put it down somewhere. Did I put it on my lap? I did put it on my lap. Okay, now he's got the bad moon staff. Oh my gosh, look how cool he looks. And he's got a little armored Squiggy. This is just boss Squig. Boss of the squad. Wait, do I have a banner bearer in the squad? Did I give him a banner bearer? I might have given him a banner bearer in the squad. Let me check. Did I give him a musician as well? That's the other thing. Oh no, they can't get musicians. Yeah, there's just a boss in the squad. They got cavalry spears and they got light armor. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's curious, but I distinctly don't care when it comes to what I want to do. Just leave it as its own curiosity. Maybe pick off tactic innovation from there. Oh. I know Imperial Knights are pretty cool though. And you've also got a lot of Imperial Knight players have been focusing on the small guys. The armigers or whatever they call them. And for bonuses they give. I'm doing pretty well with them. Apparently the anti-flyer one's really good at the moment. There we go. Boss Squig. The boss Squiggly. Oh my gosh, these guys do not want to be in face-to-face contact. Okay, maybe if I turn you slightly to the side like this. Okay, there we go. We can get them into base contact now. Kind of. Like you see a lot of Tawny lists using characters that are usually leaders and not lone OP. Or Tawny lists using characters that are usually leaders or not lone OP units as single entities are doing objectives and such. Isn't the issue with doing lone entities for capturing objectives that they're not very good at it? Because like if you end up with a squad of like 10 normal dudes, they'll end up capturing the objectives. Like I swear that's like one of the reasons why infantry swarms for certain factions are just being really good, because they can just absolutely swarm the objectives and make others not be able to catch them. Oh, lone operative, that's the word. That's the term, lone operative. Okay. Lone OP, lone operative. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Squiggly. Okay, we got fat legs, so we want the leg to be on this side now. Yeah. We got gobbo head, so we don't need another head from here. And we glue this here, yeah. I like to make balanced armies personally. I say balanced armies. Armies have a very distinct focus for the style that they fight, but otherwise being sort of balanced. Like my Black Templar exists in 10 detachments. You got the 4 main battle line detachments. Think of it this way: put a lieutenant on a covered objective. That's what, 45 points. If your opponent wants it, they have to dedicate a unit that has deep strike or infiltrators for it. How much is that going to cost? Well, it depends. Might be 60 points. Might be less, and depending on which faction you're going for. Well, Lone Spaceman Lieutenant's not very good by itself. The guy that has the Lone Operative special rule is a bit tougher in the Space Marines list. I guess if he can make sure that the opponents can't shoot at him, which is where the Lone Operative comes in, he can survive pretty well. But if he can't guarantee the safety, it becomes suddenly a lot more difficult. You know? That's the point. If it's just a cheap way of holding the offside objective that the enemy has to decide, do I care enough to take it back? I guess so. I mean, but isn't that like one of in Space Marines? Is it like one of the ways that Crusader squads work, in which you take a Crusader squad and then you just split it in half? Half of it will have a heavy weapon and just hold objectives. The other half goes out to take objectives. And it forces your opponent to do that decision anyway. And in either case, as long as one half does its job, you're pretty much done. And as well, it's stood on the objective, because it's got a heavy weapon, it can actually still fire at the enemy. Because guardsmen can also do that. They can just put a cheap squad on the back line, but they can make sure it has a heavy weapon, so that it can still contribute to hitting the enemy. That's where that kind of stuff comes from. But when it comes to the objectives, usually the answer is yes, they do care enough to take it back. But in general, how difficult it is to beat the enemy off it is questionable. Like I know with my Tyranids, the most dangerous points of my Tyranids, if I decide to drop a Tyranid Prime or a Parasite of Mortrex on the objective, in which case it goes, if what you've got on the objective is infantry, I've got that objective now. Especially a Parasite and Mortrex is devastating if it deep strikes into someone's objective. When they've just got infantry fire. Like a lone lieutenant, even the special guy, is not going to stop a Parasite to Mortrex after it deep strikes in. Or at least not unless you get very lucky with your rolls. And sure, Parasite to Mortrex might be more expensive, but after it kills you, it can just probably put a Ripper squad on the objective and move on to the next one. I guess it depends what you're going up against. Because the other issue that you've got to take into account is, sure, it's only 45 points to hold it, but if the opponent does deep strike something onto it, does kill your unit, then you've got to now take it back. You're breaching, you know, the Parasite is nasty, yeah. That being said, if you're playing Black Templar, the Parasite of Mortrex isn't quite as nasty because it goes, hey, you just deep struck into combat with me. That's exactly where I want you. Now get chainsawed to the face, you crazy heck. The main issue that Space Marines usually have is just not being able to capture objects. It's not having enough units to be able to actually capture and hold objectives, which is where intercessors are so important. Like, just having a squad of 5 intercessors in an impulsor is so useful. Because you just go, okay, drop one of the objective, take it, move on to the next one. The enemy has to move a unit there to recapture it. Hi, Nano Fate. How you doing? We're talking about random stuff. Objective markers. Oh, big tooths. I've got big tooths on this squiggies. And this squiggly. $28, $29. There we go. Silly Parasite, what are you gonna do in close combat with a Templar? Get chainsawed, you go. But yeah, when I was practicing the game, it's like Black Templar were, my Black Templar at least, were a perfect counter to my Tyranid models. It was actively difficult to make the Tyranids win. Because my Black Templar use a... Okay, that's not actually the correct head for this one. Predominantly use an actual ranged group of models, which is very untemplar-y, I guess. But it proves very difficult for Tyranids to go against, because what happens is they are actually really capable of shooting the Tyranids to pieces, meaning they can get rid of most of the super dangerous stuff. But then when they do land in combat, they actually have enough combat potential still to be able to just go, yep, I'm annihilating you. So, yeah. I think my Templar would definitely struggle against something that's more anti-marine focused. My Tyranids definitely aren't anti-space marine. They mostly come from the Leviathan kits. And the little bit that we've built. So the guy with a big gun on his back. And the Hive Tyrant, Winged Hive Tyrant. That's mostly just my Nid army. And none of that's really... I know that if... Oh, the non-assimilator. The non-assimilator's kind of good, but it gets killed very easily. Not assimilator. Emissary. Non-emissary. It gets... Like, despite its 4+ invulnerable save, because it's so big, it gets targeted very easily. I like hearing the World Eaters play is using guns. Like, wait, that's illegal. Yeah, no, Stern Guard are actually really, really good, because Stern Guard are also much better than not. Stern Guard are very, very, very good in range. Like, especially if you give them a heavy bolter, because they get rerolls to wound. I think it's rerolls of wands. And every single model gets devastating wounds. So they are honestly really, really dangerous. But they also get, I think, devastating wounds in close combat, and they get more attacks than the normal Marine. Not quite as much as a Crusader, but they're good enough in combat when given for boosting combat that Black Templar gets anyway. They are surprisingly able to hold their own. A lot of people be like, okay, your ranged shooty squad is now in combat. I've won this. And it's like, just let me roll 20 dice quickly. It's like, oh. And all of them get sustained hits, by the way. Oh, and for devastating wounds. It's like, yeah, I did not win this combat, did I? Why did I charge my Karn effects into them? This was not a good idea. Oh, gosh. I've got a very long fork here. I've got a very long fork. I feel like this gobbo needs a really long knife in the other hand or a spoon. Look at that. He's got a fork. It looks like he's just got a dinner fork on the end of a lance. Okay, this one's not flying around so much. He's actually got some control over the beast. The other thing is I have my Ballista Dread. Okay, the Ballista Dread isn't quite as good in close combat. But it gives enough fire support to the main Crusader squad and stuff that it makes them pretty devastating. That's the worst feeling. I've tied up your shooting unit. I win this. The enemy just starts laughing as they start gathering dice. Yeah. But that, to be fair, Stern Guard squads are pretty expensive. And they don't have the same utility that like tactical squads do or other squads. They are really there just as damage dealers. But they are capable of doing pretty much anything that you really need them to do, which is really useful. Yeah, so I've got 10 detachments of Black Templar, at least planned out. The first detachment is like the equivalent to the first company, and it's as a result got 3 squads of Stern Guard in it. 3 squads of 10 Stern Guard. It's got a squad of 6 aggressors led by Captain Ardrick himself. The Rathis Apothecary is in the same unit. It's got a Storm Eagle, Ballistus Dreadnought, 2 squads of 10 scouts, because they need first-hand experience of what the first company has to go through. You know? A Crusader squad, a Repulsor, and then there's a Lieutenant and a Castellan, I believe. Overall, it's a pretty decent army, I feel. But yeah, as a result, it's a very balanced, very, you know, it's got good shooting, it's got good combat capabilities, it's got good mobility. It's got a bit of everything. It's got some deep striking units, some flying units, some infiltrator stuff. Whatever you need. Then I've got 3 other detachments that are kind of similar, which I call my battle line detachments. One of them is made entirely of just Rathis armored troops, so you got heavy intercessors. I've had a bunch of land raiders that carried, you know, the motor gun guys, and and another squad of aggressors. Then you've also, I think you got some of the flying ones as well in the Rathis armor. One of the other battle line, everything has to have plasma guns. Yeah, so the only units in it are like Hellblaster volley guns. There's lots of there's 3 of the Redemptor dreadnoughts with the big plasma gun. obviously plasma's only, and it's got 3 apothecaries in because everything's got plasma, so you need somebody to, you know, fix the issues of overheating constantly. And the issue being, the space marines die. So I think it's got a Derideo Dreadnought in it as well, which is also just fully outloaded plasma. And it's a carbon tank with a Omega, I think it's called, which has a massive plasma gun on it. I think I've got a veteran Vanguard squad in there, or is it just a Vanguard squad from Legends? And they're all armed with plasma pistols anyway. Well, apothecaries aren't armed with plasma guns themselves, but you have to make some exceptions, don't you? I don't know what else. Then what was the 4th? Oh yeah, the 4th is a relic battle line, so it's made entirely out of Firstborn Marines and my Horus Heresy set, and it's got the Contemptor Dreadnoughts in it. It's got 2 Spartan tanks. It's got 40 tactical marines. It's got... I would have gone for Crusader squads, but in the end, the tactical marines are just too useful. It's got 10 Terminators in it. The Legends ones. Legends Terminators. Oh, what are they called? I really like them. Oh, for the cool Terminators that you get for Age of Darkness set. This message brought to you by a person who was definitely an Executioner Rush commander in a previous life. By the way, that is actually true. I had an Executioner Rush command. I had an Executioner Rush. It was yellow. Do you know, like Tahalan Desert Raiders yellow? And it had big plasma gun turret, plasma guns at the side, obviously, and then I think a big flamethrower. Oh, it might have been a heavy bolt at the front. Outside when I couldn't find that one again, I think it's one of the models I got rid of. That one was so devastating. Oh my gosh. Back in the day, it's so weak now compared to what it used to do. Back in my day, it got 3 small blast templates at strength 7 AP2, and it would just blow itself up in the first turn of every game, but not before wiping out most of your enemies. Nowadays, Lehman Russes don't always overheat themselves. They don't have to if they don't want to. What card sort of pansy excuse is that? Back in my day, you'd overheat and you'd like it. What's all of this about blast not including blast templates? What's all of this? I can't scatter onto my own troops. It's a very silly thing. Oh, I loved them. I yearn for only plasma. Then for the other 10 detachments are mostly just, well, actually you got the mobile detachment, which is meant to be, which is 2 Mastodon tanks, and it's just filled with... Oh yeah, no, my Relic Battle Line also has 2 Devastator squads in it. There's a lot of plasma within all of that, by the way. Then the mobile battle line has 80 Crusaders, Primaris Crusaders, in 2 Mastodon battle tanks. Yeah, that's like 80. 20 of them in each tank is armed entirely with melee and power fists. The other are mostly melee, but also for flamethrowers, because you can't charge the turn you disembark from it, which is sad. And then it's supported by 2 heavy weapons. Oh yeah, it's got an Ancient Infa squad, a Judicar, and a Judicia, sorry, not Judicar. That's not how you say it. Look at this. Look at this smug little fella. Oh, what do they call it though? There's a big squad of them. What's the Devastators currently called? Another Primaris Devastators. Where they got the weird missile launchers that are really fun. Some people hate them. I absolutely love them. I think the coolest models ever. I don't think the coolest model. I think they're really cool models. I love the gameplay mechanics of them. I can't. Desolation Squad. Desolation. That's it. I assume there to be much mobility in the text. Finds Mastodon. What is this? No, it's as in it's a mobile. It's not meant to be mobile on the battlefield. It's as in everyone is mounted on top of... Everyone in the army can be mounted inside the Mastodon tanks to get from A to B. That's what makes it mobile. Everyone can be mounted inside. But it's got enough movement. It's got enough crew compartment for all 87 of them. So yes. And what it does, it's mobile, because it's all mobile, all the way up to your enemy fortification, smashes through them, then drops some troops. If we want the true mobile battle force, it's called the Rapid Response Force. Well, the term for that is mechanized. True, but all of it's mechanized. True, but you know what? Actually, most of the armies have enough troop compartment in their armies to mount everybody. So most of them do count as mechanized themselves. That's why I separated with mobile. It's meant to represent it can reinforce almost anywhere. Maybe I will call it mechanized eventually. But for true mobile one, it's the Rapid Response Force, which is at least 10 Vanguard Assault Marines, and I think 20 or 30 Intercessor. No, I think 30. Yeah, 30 Intercessor Assault Marines. It's got 2 of the Hammer Strike Speeders. One of them might be a Thunderstrike one. Unless you're Tyranids, we don't care. It's got a Storm Eagle in it. It's got 5 Terminators. A Bastillus Dreadnought. The Bastillus Dreadnought to the Terminators are carried by the Storm Eagle. And it's got 5... Oh wait, my primary battle line also has a drop pod with 10 Infernus guys in it. And there's also 5 more Infernus in the Storm Eagle in the Rapid Response Force. It's also got 2 Interceptors. Gunships, whatever they're called. So, and it's also got a captain with a jetpack and a captain in Terminator armor and an ancient in Terminator armor. So yeah, they're the ones where everyone in the army is extremely mobile, whether it's because they're mounted on a flying thing or they can just fly themselves. Oh wait, I'm not going to invert on yet. I need to get the body out. So I like that army. It's a pretty fun army. There's an armor detachment as well, which is just full of tanks. It's got 3 tech priests, one of which is mounted on a bike from Legends. The rest of it is stuff like Sikaran battle tanks, repulse executioners. I can't remember everything in that one. There's just lots of tanks. It's meant to be, when you need armoured reinforcement, that's the one you call in. You've then got the Siege Force and the Defence Force. The Siege Force, I think, has 3 drop pods with 3 Crusader squads of 10 men, armed with power fists. And it's also got 3 Land Raiders and 3 squads of Centurion Assault guys. And I can't remember what else it has. I think it's got a big tank to support. Oh yeah, it's got the Demolisher Sikaran tank, whatever it's called. One with a giant cannon on it. The Defence Force, or Defence Detachment, it has 3 of those bunkers. The Hammerhead bunkers, whatever they're called. Hammer 4 bunkers. they're pretty fun. It's also got 3 squads of those servo turrets, or whatever they're called. Then it's got 3 squads of Centurion Devastators. Because Centurions are cool and I want to get a bunch. I can't remember what else it has. I think it's just got some guys for, like, maybe normal intercessors. Or it might be Primaris Crusaders. To access just defensive units. Like a trench. Hammerhead, Hammer Strike, Hammer Fell. One of those is right, I'm sure. Yeah, one of them. One of them. Might be Hammer Strike. But it's a pretty fun squad to have. I like that one. Most of these mouths are kind of pointless because you don't even see them. This guy's also riding relatively normally. He's not flying about like the other lunatics. And they are called for red loons, this tribe, so makes sense. But how many detachments was that? That was the 4 battle line detachments, the siege, the mobile, the defense, the rapid response. Oh, and then you've got the scouting force, where obviously the scouting force is a Warhound Scout Titan, because why not? Oh yeah, the armored detachment also has my Imperial Knight in it. But the scouting one, other than the giant Warhound Titan, it's mostly made up of infiltrators, eliminators. Oh, the rapid response force also has my suppressor squads in it, 2 of them. But yeah, it's infiltrators, eliminators, reavers, a scout squads in there. Obviously, basically, it's just got everybody in Phobos armor, as well as, I think, 1, if not 2, of the Invictor tactical suits, or whatever they're called. The guy who's definitely not a dreadnought. I wanted that detachment because I just thought Black Templar using camo and being all stealthy would be really funny. Especially if the idea of stealth was bringing a Titan along. When you turn around and tell people the Beyblade Sashi used to be considered a scout tank for Dark Age times. I mean, it could be. You have to remember that some scout tanks today are incredibly big and heavy. The main thing about what it considers a scout vehicle is how mobile it is and if it can do off-road stuff. Because despite how we think tanks are off-road vehicles, tanks are actually terrible off-road. I say terrible, they're not super terrible, but because how heavy they are and how low to the ground they usually are, so they don't get shot, they get stuck in the mud very often. And you see this actually in modern times, where tanks tried going through mud in winter and they ended up just getting trapped. I mean, some of them literally have people drowning inside of tanks because they tried driving through the mud. Other vehicles, like a normal Jeep, could just drive straight over, and the tank would just dig itself into the mud and just get completely covered, and it's absolutely insane. But as a result, a scout tank would generally be wider, slightly higher up, so it would immediately seem larger because it's not trying to make itself smaller. So there'll be more room between the ground and itself. Its tracks will be a lot wider as well to give itself some more surface area, and it'll be wider in general, wider distance between the tracks, so that again it's got more surface area to work with. It might also be larger overall, so that while it's physically larger, it's not necessarily physically heavier. Because it will use instead for extra size it's got to make it have thinner armor but have higher gaps between the layers of armor, and to give the crew more protection so that when the tank gets hit by the side, the tank might get taken out but the crew's safe. Usually these things aren't referred to as tanks, and often they replace tracks with wheels, and by that point they stop being referred to as tanks. They're still massive, they still can blow up tanks, They're just not referred to them as tanks anymore. Because they're generally not as well armoured. And that's the main priority of what we consider a tank nowadays. Super well armoured. The French actually love that type of vehicle. They've recently made something that's absolutely massive. It's a wheeled vehicle again. People think an main battle tank is slow, and then they see a Leopard 2 at Abrams doing maneuver warfare. Yeah. Tanks are relatively slow. The last real super heavy tank I feel like is the British tank. Or what do we call it? Is it the Chief? Is it the Chieftain currently? No, it's not called the Chieftain. Not a Centurion. What do we call our tank? Challenger. That's it. I knew it began with CH. We always got the Challenger 2. Yeah, ours is really, really heavy compared to most of the tanks of the same class. It's not that slow compared to other tanks, and it is still relatively slow compared to other tanks though. But it's funny just comparing it, especially to Soviet era tanks, and you just see them next to one another, and it's just like, one of these is absolutely massive. Oh, yeah, we've got the British made the only real tank that's. It has some issues though, mind you, for Challenger 2. A lot of it comes down to its massive weight. A lot of its issues. Oh. Well, that's what you have to deal with when you're designing tanks. I know that for new tank, they want to replace it. It's been in development for a long time, and it's because they keep having engine issues. It keeps being too noisy. And again, it's because they went for this very large, very heavy design. But they have started replacing parts of it with more generic NATO standard parts. Because the other issue with a Challenger 2 is that it doesn't use a lot of NATO standard parts, which means considering it usually fights alongside allies, it is a lot harder to do logistics for. So for new ones, use NATO standard for the turret and the ammunition, so that it can actually, you know, have better logistics. Oh, she's a brick of a tank, but for armor is on her top quality, but her use doctrine is basically armored sniper turret. It's true. I believe the only one that's ever been taken out, Challenger tank, destroyed fully. Oh, it used to be. There was a bunch of things going, oh yeah, we destroyed a Challenger tank, except I think that one actually got repaired anyway. The only one that got destroyed fully and couldn't be repaired was one where it got taken out by a fellow Challenger tank, and the crew was fine. The other thing about it is because it's very big, it's not just for armor's really high quality. Is if you read about some of the times where it's taken a lot of hits, is the armor did get penetrated, but the tank was still functional because nothing vital was hit and the people inside were safe. The main exception to this is when they went over a mine and it got up armored after this, because they went over a mine and it damaged the driver, I believe. I think in the groin of a leg. The driver ultimately, I believe, was fine. Like, he didn't die at the very least. And he actually managed to continue driving until whatever. Yeah, I believe that one actually got repaired. The one that was claimed to be destroyed. I've seen pictures of it apparently being repaired. But you never know with stuff. Well, we'll know in a few years' time about the real numbers and stuff going on. There's a lot of confusion. But yeah. They are very hard to destroy though. But there's also a big difference. And this is what a lot of NATO tanks are designed for. And this is completely different to the Soviet style of tank. Is NATO tanks were designed to be expensive, but repairable. Soviet tanks, also crew protecting. Soviet tanks were designed to be smaller, cheaper, but when they get hit, they're not very easy to recover. And the crew isn't necessarily going to survive either. But if you look at a lot of like modern Abrams tanks, like Abrams, the Leopards, the Challenger series of tanks, you find they're very big, and they aren't difficult necessarily to take out, like to scuttle from, to hit them hard enough where they can't fight on the battlefield anymore. But the thing about them is that they take all this damage, they can be towed back to base, and they can be repaired within a week and go back to battle. You saw this a lot in the wars in the Middle East with the Abrams tank, in which it often got damaged, but within weeks of it, it was back, the same tanks were back on the battlefield. But that is a use doctrine not being followed. Challenges a static defense. Yeah, or more for mobile fighting. Yeah, it depends. I mean, challenges can be for static defense, but they are still mobile enough to be able to use them for mobile warfare. Ultimately, if you're in that situation, you just use them for what use you can actually get out of them. NATO is very protected. How them Squigs coming along? We got 5 of them built out of 20. Oh my gosh. Look at this dude. He's got such a big nose, and he's got such a big hat. This is how you know he's the boss. He's got a big nose and a big hat, and his Squig also has a big nose and a big tooth. And lots of mushrooms at the base. Tactical mushroom. He's also got a big safety thing. The Squigs are going nicely. But yeah. Oh yeah, the point is, if you look at the French thing, what do the French have? I can't remember what it's called. They've got a big new scout reconnaissance vehicle. It's absolutely massive. It's also really. I used it in Ravenfield. It's very, very fast. It's very, very big. And it's got a lot of firepower. And it's like, yeah, I can definitely... Maybe a Baneblade wouldn't be a scout tank, unless, obviously, you give it some proper... In the Dark Age of technology, it was actually, relatively better outfitted with engines and equipment and stuff. They fire laser-guided munitions of the ground for all effective artillery pieces. Yeah, Eastern. Oh, the Swedish tank is so funny. I love the Swedish wedge. Most tanks actually fire laser-guided munitions nowadays. I love stuff. So I did a lot of weapons research, especially about modern hypotheticals of warfare and stuff. So I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. I say a bit of a nerd, a bit of a qualified nerd. So there we go. I always wonder why T-Series tanks looked away for what did, and that's why. A lot of it's to do with... Have you heard of the onion? The defensive onion? The defensive onion is a very basic concept, but when it comes to vehicle warfare, modern vehicle warfare, you got defensive layers. The first layer is... what do we call it? So it's basically don't be spotted. The best way to not get blown up is for your enemy not to see you. If they can't, so obviously building a smaller vehicle that's low to the ground is easier. Your defense second-ish idea is if you do get seen, don't get hit. So having a small, fast vehicle, again, helps you. But especially one that's very low to the ground. And then if you do get hit, don't get killed, don't get penetrated. So that's where having good armor and this or explosive reactive armor, ERA, comes into hand. And then if you do get penetrated by the enemy shot, don't get destroyed. The Eastern vehicles, Soviet vehicles, don't do much of the last one. If they get penetrated, they usually get blown up. They're usually not recoverable. I say usually, often they're not. They're more likely not to be recoverable. They're also a bit easier to penetrate because they often use less. Also, they often use low quality armor because, you know, the entire thing. Lower quality armor than they necessarily claim to have. Meanwhile, Western vehicles generally go with the idea of we're going to be seen, we're going to be hit, but we're going to make sure that when we do get hit, it's either not going to penetrate, or if it does penetrate, it's not going to blow us up. And as a result, you've got two very distinctive ways that you fight. They do things, but it's like if they don't want to be seen, what they do is they dig massive holes into the ground that have ramps, and they put the vehicles down into the holes, so only the turrets popping out. And this is one of the reasons why they have such big turrets. The other reason they have such big turrets is it gives them a lot of ability to aim upwards or aim downwards. They can shoot at something directly in front of them or above them. They can also turn the turrets into mobile artillery pieces a lot easier. Whereas with other tanks, you have to put them onto a mound, so they get slanted up, so they can get enough leverage to actually shoot in an arc. Don't get spotted for first. Yeah, don't get spotted is the first one. So the other way that so it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing about how your tanks work. But a lot of this comes from, in the past, experiences of the past of NATO have generally told them that it's that your tanks have to be on the front, that your tanks will often be in the front line, will often be in the field of fire, and as a result, it's going to be very hard for your tank not to be spotted. And it's better to have a bigger, tougher tank than it is to have a smaller one. Or at least that's what they decided on the doctrine. Whether it's actually better or not is up to debate, but that's the doctrine for it. And you can see why they'd go for that sort of idea. Nowadays, though, they go for don't be seen by just be so far away they can't see you. Go so far away they can't see you. Use radar jammers and not use radar jammers. Use missile jammers, communication jammers and stuff to prevent them from getting decent targeting on you. And then just use, heat missiles that will... Smart missiles, they call them. Because smart missiles, what they'll do is that they're designed to do is they solve out in a general direction, and then they try spotting what they believe to be a tank, enemy vehicle, or weapon stash, or something like that. They'll usually have very specific terms put into it, and then they just land and blow it up. They're not always the most reliable things in general, but they'll just fire missiles from so far away that you can't see them. You don't know they're there. And at this point, it's why people also say tanks might be a bit outdated, because you could have an IFV do the exact same thing. And an IFV is much better at fighting infantry, because it's got an autocannon. And with anti-tank missiles being so effective nowadays, it can use anti-tank missiles to blow up enemy tanks, and it can use its autocannon to give it a much better wide range of things it can fight against. That being said, again, that's very much up for debate. IFVs definitely have a lot more utility though, and for a nation that can't afford to build over expensive tanks, because tanks are very expensive. Like, an IFV might set you back 200 grand. A tank will at least set you back 5 million if you want a decent tank. So you can see the difference in between them. Even like the top IFVs are only like around 1 million, while the top tanks are like 10 million. It's absolutely insane the difference in price between them. But that's a lot of that price comes in armor and in just getting an engine that can move a tank. Because even the lighter tanks are still very heavy. So generally IFVs are better to invest in. I don't know why I'm talking about tanks so much right now. I'm sorry. I told you I get into these things. It's something I know a lot about. It's something I'm qualified in. No joke. We gotta get Squigs. We gotta focus on Squigs. I do like tanks. None of the tanks in 40k follow any of the Onion. The Lemon Russ does not follow the Onion very well. It's very, very big. It fights at relatively close range usually. And in terms of how well armored it is for its environment, honestly, it's not that well armored. Its design also means it's relatively easy to shoot its underbelly, because it's got, you know, that very early World War II, late World War One aesthetic going on. They are very silly. Don't trust them. The Eldar follow the very much don't be hit idea of everything. Just move so quickly they don't have a chance to hit you. Which would be viable if they didn't get hit all the time. The Tau honestly follow the closest to our ideas of it all. Very long range weaponry. Relatively small, although they do hover, so that it might make them a lot easier to target. But very long range weaponry means that they don't have to be that close to you to fight you, which is very useful. Very useful, very modern. Also relatively well armored. Not as well armored as a Lemon Russ is. Actually, I say the Lemon Russ isn't that well armored. If you go by the old stats that it had back when we had armor values, the Lemon Russ really was not that well armored. It was armored relatively okay. It had good armor at the front, but that was about it. The Tau vehicles aren't the toughest, but you know, they just have a mixture of everything. They're fast, they're long range, they've got decent armor. They also have force fields. So the Necrons just go, you don't build a tank, you build a giant pyramid and make it float and everyone can see it, but it's so well armored you're not going to kill it. But again, it's not very long range fighting. It's got a few issues there. Oh my gosh, I thought this dude had a cyborg eye then. Oh, wait, is he the one that gets a weird hat on? Oh, he might be. Let's give him a long hood. Robin Hood? Red Riding Hood. Do you think Red Riding Hood is related to Robin Hood? Also, who else has tanks in 40k? I'm trying to think who else does. Space Marines, obviously. Honestly, the Primaris way of doing tanks is not a bad idea. Actually, say they're not a bad idea. They used to be very quick and they could hover and fly and stuff, and they still had very good armor. nowadays in 10th edition, their armor is significantly worse than for Land Raider. Well, their equivalent of a Land Raider still has a turret. And that a turret's very useful. They use a lot of rockets, they use a lot of turrets, they use a lot of long-ranged weaponry. I think in general, the Primaris era of Space Marines has a very, very relative modern mobile warfare idea. Pardon me, I'm gonna cough. I need a mute. Yeah, they have a very modern mobile. But they do mobile warfare. The entire idea is they follow it relatively well. You can drop in lore, they get dropped on space. They move very quickly, they're decently well armoured, they're still very heavy. All of that jazz. But they are good at what they do. It's hard to hit them. It's hard to see them and have a chance to hit them. Got lots of long-range weaponry. Yeah, they follow the entire idea of everything better. The Space Marines of old did not. The vehicles were big, they were bricky, they were slow moving, they didn't have great armor. The only exception was the Crusader, who had very poor range and visibility of their weapons. Like, nowadays, you don't need to, your weapons don't need to get line of sight with the enemy to shoot from. Back in the day, they did. And with having half of your weapons on one side of your vehicle, or a tiny, barely mobile turret at the very front that sat in the crevice so it can barely get any visibility of a battlefield, was terrible. But getting your Land Raider to be able to draw a line of sight was annoying, to say the least, especially since turning a Land Raider used so much of its movement. And honestly, I think that would be quite representative of how it would fare in real-life battles. Oh my gosh, look at him. Look at him. Boing, 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 boing. Oh, the Predator was also not great. It didn't have great range on any of its weapons, even lore. It's not very tough. Everything they did not do for defensive doctrine very well. Or mobile warfare very well. Especially for APC. For Rhino sucked. But it's based on a APC for Gaffin, for M113, and that absolutely sucks. I hate it. It's a decent battlefield ambulance. I'll give it that much. And it's modular enough that you can turn it into mortar carrier. It's a good transport vehicle for behind the lines, where you might get easy to blame for that. It is, because it's terrible. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Oh my gosh, I love him. Oh wait, you won't be able to sit behind them, will you? Oh, you can sit behind them. It's almost like it was designed for it. Oh, in real life, actually, the Rhino does have some similar sort of things that the real life one does, but I'm strong enough to blame for Rhino 2. No, for Rhino 2 is the Impulsor, and the Impulsor is great. Like, this extremely mobile, gives your troops a firing platform, but also gives your troops enough cover to be able to hide inside it. It can get defensive shielding, it can get communication arrays, it can get missiles on it. It's a really good vehicle. It does its job really well for maneuver warfare, and it's well armoured enough as well to do its job. I see you or not. But yeah, for Rhino, it's very similar to M113 Gaffin, in which for M113, one of its best things that it can do is its transport is really good behind the lines. So you're not using it for front lines. It's not meant to be in any battles. You use it to transport wounded from a camp to a hospital that's well beyond the lines, or something like that. You use it to transport ammunitions and weapons between areas as well, potentially. You can use it to carry a mortar on board of it, or, you know, some sort of other artillery. And as a result, it can be used to deploy artillery into zones where you wouldn't expect artillery. It'll be smaller artillery, but it's similar to how the Rhino has a whirlwind, and it can be used, and its other potential uses, and it's used as a razorback. But again, none of these things are actually great. The only good one there is a whirlwind. Now, for Rhino as a demolisher is a bit weird because it's much better armored. And due to its relatively small size of how well armored it is, and for it to have this massive cannon on it that does a lot of damage, even if it's short range, does mean it would actually have some decent utility. But how they suddenly make it so well armored just by putting a sledge on the front is really weird. Not sledge, a shovel on the front. The dozer blade is many armors, yes. I don't know how it ups the armors on the side either, and at the back, but it somehow does. The best thing this tank cannot do is not be in battle, yes. It's because it's not a tank, it's an APC. It's not an IFV, and even making it into a razorback does not turn it into an IFV. Now, in the 10th edition for Rhino is tougher, but it still doesn't have the same level of utility that the Impulsor does. The Impulsor just has way more utility. The Razorback might be able to bring some extra heavy firepower in, but it's not really with the extra points. It's, if you want that sort of thing, the Impulsor is a more realistic option. Whether it's actually good in real on the battlefield in terms of playing the game is another option, is another thing entirely, and I'm not aware of tournaments. But tournaments don't necessarily follow real life stuff. But we're talking about if these things were real. Dozer blade is just that strong, do not question. I mean, the dozer blade is great. I love to put the dozer blade on as many guard vehicles as I could do. This is why GW keeps using the Rhino mode, by the way. The community can't stop talking about them. Yeah, but most people actually love the Rhino for some reason. I don't. I'm not one of its defenders. I never liked it, even from when I first played the game. Crusaders, I actually like because of the design. They look cool. They're actually useful on the battlefield. They were always a bit overpointed, so they could be killed from... So they weren't necessarily worth the amount of points that they cost. But you know, who cares? It's tough. It's big. It looks cool. In one of the versions of World of Tanks, I think Blitz, the mobile version, added the Demolisher. It's a big bunker. The Demolisher cannon is even more powerful in 10th edition. It's insane. I tested, I was playing about with my Bane Blades against the Tyranids, and I was surprised that the Demolisher cannon could just one-shot a non-emissary. It's like, oh my gosh, it just one-shot it. And that was not, it was overkill one-shot. Overkill. It does way more damage than the Bane Blade cannon. What is this? Show me one, and I will show you a liar. Show me a Rhino Defender. Maybe. One day. What other tanks are there? Necrons. Oh, they did actually release a bunch of stuff. The only Necron vehicle I really know much about is a Monolith. I know they released that other one that looks a bit like, you know, that droid ship that, you know, all the droids are on it and like curled up and they could drop off, and it's from Star Wars. Not the droid ship, the droid transport. But Necrons generally have a lot of heavy firepower for vehicles, but a lot of it is quite low range. Again, Tau, they definitely do most of the good stuff. When it comes to modern ideas of warfare, the Tau definitely fulfill for what they were always meant to be. What if we took a modern military and put the premise of a modern military with sci-fi equipment into 40k? We use modern military tactics and doctrine, and the best way to play Tau often revolves around modern military tactics. Very like artisanal bicycles. Yeah, and artisanal bicycles are immense. Have you ever been kicked by a person on an artisanal bicycle? Homer Simpson has. Wait, was it Homer who got kicked? Or was it Peter Griffin? It was one of the two. Someone got kicked by a person on a big bike. Nope, was you kick them? How do you kick them? On top of a giant bike with a massive wheel. You're a tiny rat. You get crushed. You get caught to the wheel and then you'll be spinning around like Cookton in our latest shot. Check out the latest shot made by Talan. Do you believe? Can you take Cupcake by the hand? Bam, ba bam, ba ba na ma na na, ba da da da. That Talan be rotating the spokes. It's true. It's true. My screen just turned off. Oh no. Is it going to come back? Yes, it is. Nice. There you go. Yeah, watch a shot. Tell me how good a job I did. Yeah, watch a shot. Tell Alan how good a job he did. The Elder are all about speed. I don't think that... Do the Dark Elder have anything that could class as a tank? I don't think they do. They just have things that can count as APCs and IFVs. And planes. I think they used to, like, have a massive Forge World model. That was just absolutely, like, massive tank with giant cannon on it. And I think the Eldar could also use it. It was usable by both of them, I believe. I might be misremembering. But Ravage, that's not a tank. It's basically an IFV, that one. Maybe not an IFV. An AFV, maybe? Armoured fighting vehicle. Barely armoured. It lacks a giant main battle cannon, and it lacks heavy armour. It does have shielding, which maybe could, you know, cover it up, but... Conjuror told me it was bad and I stink of food. I did not do that! Talan is so mean. No, Talan's lying. I told him it was great. You know it's true because she isn't reacting. It took me a while to... Look, it takes a while for messages to reach me and then for me to read them because I'm lazy and I was paying attention to what Anthony was saying. I was like, oh my gosh, Talan, it's so amazing. It's so good. You're so amazing. And then Talan was like, I don't care what you think, Conjuror. They threw glass bottles at me. And they hit my head. And this is why I'm struggling to read chat and I'm so slow. Because I got head injuries and other glass bottles that Talan threw at me. Oh my gosh, everyone bully him. Why did I build a second face when I just built a face already? I don't know. See, this is a head injury, Talan. This is what you did to me. Oh gosh. How would a Baneblade actually be in a modern warfare though? Like, how would it be rated? The Lemon Rose would get a terrible rating. It's too tall. It's got flat armored surfaces. It's honestly a terrible design for a tank. It's got a big turret, mind you. And the Vanquisher is better because it's got longer turret. But also it doesn't have great turret depression despite its size. Which is also another negative against it. The Sikaran battle tank design is cool to look at, but honestly not very, you know, practical. Really, really cool. Realistic use of it. A bit questionable. Oh my gosh, this land's broken. We fixed it. You didn't throw glass bottles. I didn't throw glass bottles at you. You threw them at me. Look at this broken lance. They nailed it back together. Oh, I love that. So yeah. For Vogel Dawn, it's a bit. Honestly, the design of a Vogel Dawn is a bit better. It's got way too many weapons on it, and it will probably explode the moment a hot wind blew in its direction because of how many weapons it's got overloaded on it. But also it's so massive that maybe its design isn't actually all that great, if I'm honest. Okay, I think that one actually needs to be for number 1. Did you already use number 1? I think we already did. There's a big gap between him and the seat. Oh no. Okay, wait, there's not a big gap between you and the seat, is there? Oh, there is. Okay, that's fine. Actually, maybe we'll try number 5. Maybe it's meant to be on number 5. Wait. Nope. Okay, that's fine. We'll put him on Squig. But aren't I too small to throw a bottle of glass? No, I don't think you are. I think you just get all your rat friends and family to help you throw it, and you build like a big slingshot. And it's like, right in my head. I'll move, but I'm too kind and nice to move. You put all that effort into it. It's like, oh, I might as well just let it happen now. Look how much effort they put into making that little slingshot device. It's like, do you know Pickle Rick? When he got all the rat parts and built himself a rat body. It's like that, but for rats, you know, taking the pickle parts and building a slingshot. Well, I must have hated the Pickle Rick episode. The Eldar one. I like the Eldar. The Eldar have some weird tank ideas. They like to use force fields as well. But they definitely have proper tanks. Some of their tanks are very long range, some of them are very short range. All of them are very, very fast, but most of them lack decent armor. Some of them make up for it for force fields, but again, they lack decent armor. If we take the super heavy vehicles into account, they've got a little bit of leeway to go with. But those super heavy vehicles are incredibly large, and even by Eldar standards at least, relatively slow. The designs aren't great. I was going to talk about the Baneblade. The Baneblade design is, assuming you could build a Baneblade and it wouldn't collapse under its own weight, the biggest issue you're going to face is that it'll be very difficult to move it. Most roads would crumble under its weight. Most bridges wouldn't be able to support its weight. And you're also going to get that going off-road is going to probably get you stuck in the ground quite easily. Trying to replace the tracks on it, if it got scuttled, if its tracks got knocked off or anything like that, you wouldn't just be able to get the crew to get out there and replace the track. You need a full-on tech-based machines, all sorts of things to replace it. You need a crane and pulley system. It's just not feasible to expect that to happen in the middle of a war zone. And that's ultimately its biggest weakness. That being said, it's got a very long-range cannon, making it a relatively decent artillery piece. while it's probably very expensive, Imperium seems to throw them around like candy. So it's potentially relatively cheap by Imperial standards. And this is the other thing about Imperial vehicles is if they're relatively cheap, and if a Baneblade based on its size and its number of crew actually potentially has, unless it goes completely nuclear, which there's a chance of it going that, it looks like its crew has a decent chance of survival in most combat zones, never mind how badly it gets damaged. I've also seen a picture of it, and it does seem that the ammunition for it is kept separate from most of where the crew would actually be. And there's definitely enough room with the vehicle for it to, if it took a hit and ammunition went off, for again, the crew to be able to still escape safely. So, there are some advantages to the Baneblade, but again, you've got the entire issue of it's just so big and so heavy. It's going to be hit a lot. It's going to be very hard to get to the battlefield. Even the Imperium must have a difficult time getting it to the battlefield, because I've not seen many dropships or, you know, vehicle carrying ships and stuff that would actually be able to pick it up. Like the Thunderhawk transport ship does not look like it can pick up a Baneblade. Maybe it can, but again, that's a Space Marine vehicle. The ones we see for the Imperial Guardsmen generally can only pick up like a Lim and Ross. Would struggle with a Rogue or Dawn, let alone a Baneblade. The Macarius tanks are a bit better. Like, sure, they got way less armaments on them, but they're a lot smaller. They're nowhere near as tall, and they have a similar amount of main cannon firepower. So, and they can also have some very long range weapons on it. And again, they seem to be roomy enough to be able to protect the crew, and small enough that maybe the crew could survive. Small enough that maybe it can go over bridges and stuff. Not maybe so the crew could survive. Oops, this is the wrong leg. Okay, this is the correct side. So, I don't know. Macarius seems definitely to be a better designed tank than the Baneblade. They definitely look like the kind of vehicles that would probably not be in the front lines as much, but instead be further back shooting. That being said, the one with a giant Falcon Mega Bolter, maybe not so much. Titans just absolutely make no sense. The Tau tell us that much at the very least. They make no practical sense. I agree with the Tau on something. That being said, when you got access to things like void shields, maybe a Titan does work. I mean, if a Baneblade was equipped with void shields, which I believe it might have had void shields in the first version of Apocalypse. I feel like it might have. If a Baneblade had access to that, then I could see some advantage. There are some advantages, mind you, to a Titan. And it's when it comes to bringing down super heavy weapons. If you absolutely must bring a super heavy weapon mobile, a Titan's not necessarily the worst way to do it. Like, a Titan would be super heavy, but the weapon is going to be super heavy whatever way. You're going to need a Baneblade-sized vehicle to move it. And where Baneblade would be difficult to get from A to B, a Titan seems a lot easier to get from A to B. Because its legs mean that if it can keep stable, it shouldn't really care about muddy battlefields as much, because it can just lift its leg up, go down, get stuck in the mud, lift its other leg up, and then just force it back through the mud. It also means that, like, if there's a bridge going over a river, even a Scout Titan would has a lot of potential, but unless it's a massive deep river, it can probably just walk through the river. And that's where most of its ideas seem to, you know, be useful if you wanted to use a Titan. Get a Titan. Get a massive artillery piece.
How many Squigs did we build?
7 so far. We're on for 8. We're under 8. How would Squigs? Squigs are powerful. Squigs, how would they act as a tank? Well, they're very fast, they're very small, they're very chompy. I'd give them a rating of 7 out of 10 tank. And they're very tough. How did we... Because I've been talking. I've been talking, I've been playing, I like to yap, I get distracted, I go on tangents. And oh my gosh, I forgot to get the handout. Tilan, I blame you. Oh gosh. What is this piece? 61 or 19? 19. Also, look at them, they're complex. They got lots of pieces and they're very spiky. I rest my case, Your Honor. Actually, you're not an honor. There you go. Look at it. Look at this squig. Skill issue. Okay, fine. Thanks. So mean. So mean. Skill issue me all the time. I'm just trying to have a good time. And I get skill issued. I get skill issued. Oh my god. I've been talking about tanks too much. I've got a bad issue recently of just constantly being... I've been struggling to focus my mind very well. I keep wanting to do stuff, but then I just keep losing time. I just sometimes randomly just find myself looking at Reddit or Blue Sky or something. Or just sometimes not even that. There's nothing easy to distract me properly. I'm just like distracted by my own random thoughts. And sometimes I'm not even sure what I was thinking about. I'm going insane. Maybe if that's what's happening. No, I think it's this code. It's messing my head a bit. It's just before it came on fully, I was having the same issue. I was having a bit of the same issue with my previous flu. Oh my gosh. I wish I had a better immune system. I really do. I hate the fact that I keep falling ill all the time and then I'm like, hey guys, I'm ill again. The code is magnifying her issues. What do you mean magnifying it? It's making the issues. It's not magnifying them. Making them. No, but not. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating so much. My chest. Oh. I forgot to open the window. I said I was going to do it earlier. Then you distracted me with tanks. Why would you do this to me, Anthony? I've got to open the windows. Just let me... There you go. That's... Chat. Make sure the arm doesn't fall off. If it falls off, I'm blaming you guys. I'm going to open my windows. No! So I had to fight through the armies and legions of the anti-window openers. Ill levels opened, stream out of 10. What's this? How could you, Anthony, easily distracted base levels will visit Warhammer store out of 10? You know, Conjuror can't handle her tanks. I can handle the tanks. It's the issue. I talk about them too much. I'm like, oh my gosh, tanks. Tanks, IFEs, Modern Warfare. I know all about this. I've written papers on these types of things. on the various doctrines of different nations and the likelihood that they actually are as well equipped as they appear on paper. There we go. And how decent, how things will prepare for the future of warfare and all of that stuff. Oh my gosh, these silly. I'm gonna need to make weighted bases for them so they don't fall over, aren't I? Oh my god. Why did your arm fall off? Didn't you do? I did do physics. And as I've done, but also I was in what's it called? I was in a number. Actually, I don't think I'm really allowed to say. Never mind. I've been in various military things. I've been in military institute. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I was in the RAF. I could say that much. I was an RAF cadet as well. That's not what I did it for, but still. What physics made you do? Well, that it was a paper. Do you know? I had to do for other stuff. It wasn't in my university degree. I'm gonna call it paper as a study. Well, it was more than a theoretical thing. What do you call? I'm not good with words. That's my big issue. I'm not good with words, thinking on the spot. Unfortunately, Tanya left to people on the spectrum alone for multiple hours. The brainwaves synced up and chaos was inevitable. Yeah. I've mentioned it before. I did weapons research and stuff like that. GW. Well, this is random. What company is this? Eve model basis. Model base. Okay. Oh gosh. We got 2 squigglies left. 2 nashery nashers. 2 super nasherinos. I'll do both of these. We got a squad attendant. Yeah, to learn. Don't need 2 people on the spectrum. Alone. You know. Now, I enjoy my weapons research. And then I was super ill. Yeah, I've had a lot of professions. I've been in a lot of... I don't stay in anything very long. That's the issue. A lot of it's my health. It's like, you know, if I do this, and then it's also my distractions. That being said, I was a writer while I was at I was an artist while at university. And then I started to get into writing afterwards. Because that's when my issues with my fingies came along. And it was hard for me to keep up art for hours on end. Oof. They synced up in the shape of I know. I now have the spectre of medicated friends at work, and I understand their thought process implicitly. I take solace that I am them when they are medicated, so I must be doing well. I'm not medicated at all, but I'm definitely on the spectrum. In Britain, we don't usually medicate autistic people, do we? I don't know. I don't know. No one's ever offered me medication, though. Or if I did, I might have said no, thank you. Because I got a stomach issue and medication often messes with it. Conjuror is not medicated. Call the National Guard. No! I'm not medicated for autism anyway. I have painkillers, but I don't really use the painkillers because I don't like how it makes me feel. Which is, it makes me feel kind of drunk. I don't like that feeling at all. I'd rather be in pain unless I absolutely can't deal with it. Also, the only real painkillers that seem to do anything are, you know, really high. Basically morphine. It's bad enough that detrimental to your standard of life, and yeah, they medicate you. Mine's detrimental to my life. They're just like, never medicated me. That being said, I was rated on the spectrum as basically very, very high on the spectrum, but at the same time, I appear lower than I am, apparently, according to my tests. That was what this said. Very far along the spectrum, but I don't see it. Well, they did advise me that I should probably just completely give up on human relationships. Like, yeah, when it comes to friends and all of that stuff, you're going to struggle having any real long-term relationships with people in real life. I don't think there's much we could potentially ever do for you for that one. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you for that. That makes me feel very good about myself. But and they in fact advised that I should probably live alone and not with people. I'm like, that's difficult. That's difficult. You appear lower than you are is such a damning review. Yeah, effectively they said most people who are as autistic as I am are special needs people at time. I know for thank you to learn. We're gonna finish for 10 squigglies and then at the very least. But like, you know, most people like you are, you know, you need special stuff, but then for like, for some reason you seem capable, semi-capable of managing yourself. I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult, if I'm entirely honest. But, you know. It was very weird.
Excited for tomorrow's reveal of the ogre work?
Oh, is that when it's happening? I was not excited about it because I didn't really know about it. And honestly, I don't really, as I said, I've still not played Ogres really. So I wouldn't really know what the Ogre rework's about. Like what's good, what's bad within it, how the Ogres, because I don't know how the Ogres work right now. So I'm not really that excited. I'm excited for everyone else who's excited about it. And finally, you know, another race that needed a rework. Pardon me, getting it. But excited for myself, probably not. I'll probably just let you tell me about it or let Reddit tell me about it or whatever. I'm more excited for the Orcs and Goblins one whenever that's coming out. Because I love the Orcs and Goblins. They're potentially my favourite faction in the entirety of the game. I think you told me you didn't play Ogres because the LL looks creepy to me. Both, I don't like the looks of a Garfang is what I'm going to call him. Honestly, I might play him because I don't find him looking as creepy. Gracious, I'm not a big fan of Gracious's design, and the other guy just gives me icky vibes. It's the same sort of vibes I get when I look at not an ogre, a gorilla and a monkey and stuff. It's very off-putting. Maybe it's Uncanny Valley, I don't know. I think if Grease just had his nobler throne rather than just a big cart to be in, I would be a bit more... I might like him more. I was surprised if they just gave him a big cart instead of his nobler throne. It's like, oh my gosh, but the nobler throne looks so cool. Do you think Goldfang is pretty enough to play? Yeah, Goldfang's pretty enough to play. He looks cool. He doesn't set off my entire Uncanny Valley vibes as much. What? I didn't see that. I know people mentioned that. Or more appropriately, you mentioned it. But I did not see them at all. So I don't care. I need people to pop them out. Cupcon is proud. Equal supporter. No! I didn't know about it. Look, I don't really look at people like that, Talan. Just because you guys are perfect doesn't mean we all are, okay? Some of us don't get that easily distracted. Oh, gosh. I really like these models. I really love the knightly aesthetic they decided to give for goblins. It's like, giving night goblins a knightly aesthetic is such a weird move, but a move I completely agree with. When you look at someone, you only look at their helmet or not. Look, if they're not wearing a helmet, I don't care. I don't see a person. I just see an easy to look. You either got a helmet on, or I'm thinking about how easily it would be just to hit you in the head and you'd be down. If you got a helmet on, I'll be like, oh, it's a nice helmet you got there. And he's got a big hat. I'm like, you know what? That's a big hat you got there. I appreciate your big hat. And you know, Uzumis when I'm a cupcake, but I'm pretending to be an Umi. And you know, they respect big hats. You can tell that by the comment source. The bosses in charge always have big hats. And that's how you know who's in charge, a big hat. And you know, Goldfang's in charge because he's got a big hat. Yeah. Why are you gazing lustfully at the ogres? Oh. Back in the gutter with you. Back in the gutter, you rat. Ogres are very cute. No, we're not cute. I was just impressed with him eating 3 mammoths at once and doing away had a toothpick and stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool. I love a little toothpick animation. Oh. Didn't you see the toothpick? I saw a toothpick. I'm like, I want that toothpick. It's a cool looking toothpick. Oh, look at that hand. Look at that hand in there. Okay, now what face do we want to go with? I want to go with one that's open. That one's not open. That one's quite closed up. That one's quite closed up. That one's quite open. We'll go for this one. So we can see the hand in the mouth. And then we need to go for the hand here. Do you believe the allegoric theories that killing a trailer is their way to tease a plutonium rework? I mean, it could be. I think it's more to just show where he is, because he starts in Lustria near Allegoric. And I think it's just a very accurate way of going, look at who he's killing. It just shows that that's the early boss fight. That's what I got from it. I could easily see it as some teasing a plutonium rework, but I'm not entirely sure if they'd actually get rid of Allegoric if they did rework Platonia. Which maybe they would do. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Creative Assembly to do something like that. It's just at the same time, it's just Alberic's right next to where School Taker starts. The final Squig. He is the first legendary lord to ever die in a trailer. I mean, that was a bit of an interesting thing. And it does obviously make me think, maybe that is a point in that entire thing. I don't know. I'm a kind of person I would rather... Wait, why did I get this head out? That was the wrong face half. Oh, I'm a silly fool. You believe in the Steve. You believe in the Steve who believes in the Steve. I believe he just has a very nice skull. I think it might also just show that he can collect legendary lord skulls to make it very clear what he can do. It's also entirely possible that someone didn't realize Alberic was that was Alberic and not just some generic legendary lord. It's possible whoever made the trailer legitimately forgot about, because they have forgotten about bigger things before when they've done some of their designs or releases and stuff. So I wouldn't put it past them to tease a plutonium rework like that, or even to kill off Alberic. For the most part, I'd rather... I'd rather not make assumptions about it, to be honest. I think a plutonium rework is definitely coming. I think they've even mentioned it before. Or maybe I'm wrong in that. But I think I'm pretty certain a plutonium rework was already in the plans. Maybe that is what's going to come next. But it's not like in the previous things that they've ever really teased the next ones within. Have they teased in the trailers? The last trailer, Thrones of Decay, didn't really seem to tease this one. Like how Alberic forgot his helmet. Yeah. Norska will get to rework. CA told me in a dream. Nice! Norska needs a rework so badly. I don't know if he does, but it would amaze me if Skull Taker has some massive damage single entity skill as he claims a skull for the skull throne. I imagine he does have it. I think he's meant to be a hero killer. I think that's what they said in one of their blog streams or whatever. That Skull Taker is meant to be...
Read that again, Copium.
What the... What? Norska will get a rework, CA told me in a dream. What are you on about? Read that again and Copium. I read it perfectly. He doesn't have a skill that deals damage. Ah, sad. Pretty sure you and Bo and one of the elves have a similar thing. Oh. Oh. There we go. There we go. We got another night gobbo in. Night gobbos. Night gobbos. Night gobbos rule. There you go, 10 squigs. That's one of our squad of squigglies done. Although, actually, they're not meant to move around like that. I could have left them on round bases because apparently they fight the skirmishers. So that means that they'd actually move around more like this. Rather than all of them being in base contact. Because they have skirmishes and loose formations special rule. In combat, though, they'd still end up base to base and stuff. That's one of the reasons why I was carefully trying to make sure that they could. You know, I'm not a fish, so I've got hiccups. The silent hiccups at the moment. It's why I keep having to take a breath, because I'm like that. I'm sorry. I need a drink, probably. I've not hydrated enough this stream, especially with how sweaty I got. Just... A phone alarm! Many squigs. Only 10 squigs. But I do like squig hoppers. Squig hoppers are so cool. Look at that big mouth. Look at that big cutie boy. And look at our leader squig. He's got a big hat with big bones and spikes in it. And wait, I should probably change the camera control right now. Let me change the focus so it's a bit higher up. There you go. That's around correct. Yeah, look at him. He's got a big armoured thing there. Big armoured nose. He's got the biggest nose. The biggest hat. He's got a cool little staff. He's got a lot of mushrooms. I should probably neaten up this bit of the back. There we go. Officer Wanderer has won. Nice! And look at this thing. Oh, for all our squigs. This guy is on a big poof smoke. Tactical smoke. Big scarred squig. He's got a knightly helmet. 2 shoulder pads. I barely feel like night goblins, honestly, with how knightly they are. I do really like the design, because the squig hoppers should be a bit more armoured. I did give them light armour in my list, old world list. This is the first one we built. Or was it the second one? I like him. Look, he's so joyful. He's got a big little smile, and his squig is like, nom 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 nom. Is that for one with a hand in the mouth? No, it's not. It's not. Oh, he's also got some tactical smoke. He's like, woohee! Woohoo! Mario! Upload! And look at this dude. Big tooth. One big tooth. He's got to be beaten up and have his tooth stolen, probably. And this guy can't see what he's doing. His hood fell over his eyes. He's like, oh, what's happening? Just keep hold of that spear. Oh, there's another big chunk there that I need to break off. The only issue with these precision clippers is often they don't seem to clip off all the bits properly. Then you got this. I love this helmet. Love his helmet, and his thing's also copying with his helmet. And he's got another fork. I like a little fork. A little shoulder pads. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Look at our nightly gobbos. The squig will know the way. The squig knows the way. Don't worry about it. Oh, look at this. This squig's an angry squig. Or is he a happy squig? Or is he an angry squig? Happy squig? Angry squig. And the guy on top just got a big nose. And he's like, oh my god, that's not a big nose. That's just to make him more aerodynamic so he can soar through the air while the squig's running. And he can skewer mushrooms. I've already got this dude. He's like, I got big tusks. And they've armoured my tusks up. And I've got big scars. And I'm close to the ground. So that he can fork up some food. And oh, if he got this helmet again. Oh, I love that helmet. Yeah. And then he got this dude. Oh, that's a nice helmet, actually. It's like a bad moon helmet. Like, it makes the little moony shape a little bit. That squig does not look happy. It's got spider eyes. Lots of little mushrooms again here. His lance is being pinned together. It broke once and you just nailed it back together. Don't worry about it. Look how armoured his little arm is though. Look at how armoured that shoulder pad is. There's a little fish. Oh, it's so cute. What is the armour off the Squigs though? Let me Google them. Not Google them. Let me open them up back on my app. They got light armour, so that should be a 6+ save. Red loonies. Squig Hopper squad. They have loner special rule. Oh, can't be joined by a general unless it also has a loner special rule. Warband, immune to psychology. Yeah, so we only have a 6+ armor save. That's it. Ooh, that's not great. I've already toughness 3, even if the Squigs are strength 5. Ringstins don't always have the most funny details like that reformed lance. They do. Oh, let me clip this lance. Got a bit of stuff that needs clipping off. There we go. Got a sprue. Oh my gosh. Look at that mushroom. It broke it like it's jumping along. Oh my gosh, that's not attached very well his mouth. But yeah, that mushroom broke off as it's running along and now it's attached to him and he got a chain of mushrooms. Looks like it's just balancing on top of some mushrooms. Oh, he's got a big cyclops eye. One of his tooth got broken. See, this is what happens when you got big teeth. People steal your teeth. He's got 2 broken teeth. You didn't reinforce your teeth. Oh my, he's got a cyborg eye. He's got a long hat. Look at a long hat. Super long. He wanted a bigger hat than the bosses, but now it means he gets dragged whenever he's running along. He gets dragged behind by the hat. He's got a decent speed. It's a bit wibbly wobbly at the end. It's a bit dented, a bit broken. And look at this guy. He's got like the knightly helmet open. It's like, do you know, my knightly savior comes along and then it turns out to be. It's not Shrek. It's a goblin. This guy seems happy. This guy seems full of himself. He's probably full of food, that's why. And apparently he's got some mushroom stuck to his foot or something. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I can just see he's got a little like keyring thing on the back of his helmet. I'm just imagining like someone tying a string to it. So he's running along on his Squig and then just, flung off his Squig. Because someone tied a string to his helmet. Oh. Yeah, the Squigs are really cool. Squig hoppers are scary. They're so fast. I got a Squig hopper unit in my, what's it called? Oh, what do we call it? Warhammer Total War. And it has a speed of 133. I believe it was. 133 Squig hopper unit. I think it can be made faster. It's like, oh my gosh, so fast. A normal unit only has a speed of like 30 on foot. And cavalry usually only have a speed of 75. Light cavalry have a speed of 90. I've only got this random guy, goblin or Squig going, just light speeding. Damn, that's like Warhammer sound barrier breaking. I know. It's like he can outrun flying units. Your flying units have like usually max out like speed 120, and he's just like, I'm faster than you. Do you know that Pegasus and that dragon as fast as the speed of sound, are you? Well, take this. And the rest of them are all over speed 100 as well. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're just insane. It's like speed 108, 110 or something like that. For the rest of them. Oh, just Squig hoppers are so fast. It doesn't really help them out, to be entirely honest with you, because Squig hoppers are kind of they're not
I
like
don't think you know how fast I truly am.
Want to watch me run to that hill and back? Want to watch me do it again? Like, this is the size of a battlefield. This is how long it will take a squig hopper to pass the battlefield. Like, I'm just imagining, like, if I ever gave an order for squig hopper to charge a unit, then go back, then charge and go back, and could I just have a squig hopper to go, and the unit just stuck in the middle going slum, slim, 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 slim until it's dead. That'd be so cool. That'd be fun. I mean, they get a speed boost as well with the charger. They got like a charge bonus of like 90 now. So they get a little speed boost. They're gonna move even quicker when they're charging. It's like, oh no. Oh no. Oh. Imagine the micromanagement though. I don't think I could click quickly enough. By the time I click, they've already moved there. They move so quickly. They've moved to where you want them to go before you even have a chance to tell them. Oh. Yeah, I'm not done very well with my squig hopper army, if I'm honest, in Warhammer Total War, because what happens to it? I can't micro it well enough, but for shock cavalry, so they need to keep charging. If they get bogged down, they're not like cavalry. They're not like their tabletop equivalents, where they actually are better bogged down than they are out of a battle. I never wanted to try and become a professional StarCraft player for a Total War game. A professional StarCraft player for a Total... I don't get that one. Is it because StarCraft players are good micro? Yeah, but because you have to constantly be charging and bringing back, but even worse than Batonians for this, because they don't have the armor to save them in battle. So you charge in and then you need to really get them out of there quick. They can do a lot of damage, but they definitely need help. I'm gonna do something. Mass jump. Go for it. Go for it. Who's gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? No. We're gonna jump. Oh, it's Anthony. Was it Anthony? No, it wasn't. It was Lucy. Lucy. Yeah. Lucy. Lucy won 125 jump catch game. Yeah. Professional StarCraft has a notoriously high action per minute. Oh. That makes sense. That's a bit that can for Command and Conquer stuff as well, unless you do one of the just stupid tactics. Generally, the best tactics in Command and Conquer, though, at least when I played, was you don't need to do any tactics. You just go, okay, I'm going to recruit a bunch of troops. All of you then just move over here. And then I'm going to go set to my base up so that when it recruits more troops, they will move over to my enemy base. And then just keep spamming out troops. And then your enemy goes, yeah, I'm losing right now. Oh, yeah, those are the cheesiest tactics. Often the ones that work the best. Didn't always work with a campaign because sometimes the enemy had started with a bunch of defenses that could easily deal with lots of low-level troops. You had to have a siege breaker on your team. Not siege breaker. You had to have a front line breaker or whatever, something that could break through the defenses. And then you could send all your low-tier infantry in. Self-deleting grunt rush in Halo Wars multiplayer was funny. Self-deleting? Do you mean that's if they get themselves blown up? Grunt rush. Oh, wait, you mean for ones if the grenades, if they come running at you with grenades, is that it? You know, for grunts pull out. Yeah, I get it. Wait, wouldn't that be really terrible? Because if you actually play for Halo, like in Halo 3 and the normal Halo games, the shooters, if you get a bunch of them coming at you and you shoot the first one, especially if you hit a grenade, it will take them all out because the grenades will go off and then it will just start a chain reaction. And you'll lose Does it? Wouldn't it? Like, as soon as it blow up one unit, wouldn't that just cause all of the units to chain reaction into destruction? Or is it not that bad? Yeah. Oh, God. Kick. Oh. Stop. You hit the hat. Whack. Whack. If you take on the boss, you better not hit the hat. Wah! Okay. Step. He didn't hit the hat. Step. 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 No, there's two of us against one. How do we... he stabbed himself. I'm gonna get you. No. This is a new boss now. Unfortunately, there's no one to boss over. It's sad. Speaking of which, I wish we had an exploding rats in Total War. You do have exploding rats. Okay, so Talan, do you know the warp bomb army power that rats have? That's exploding rats. You send your unit of Skaven over to the enemy, and then you use the exploding warp bomb power. Like, imagine those bloated corpses in Warhammer that can just wipe out a unit of infantry. And this unit's a damage percentage is criminal. Oh. Exploding rats. Do. Exploding rats. Do. Exploding rats. Real exploding rats model. Not some Temu knockoff. Okay. When did it become a Temu and no longer Wish? Did Wish just rebrand as Temu or something? Because they seem to both have the same issue. The circle, go, circle. The Squig summoning circle, maybe if we stand in a circle. Do you think they're ever going to release a colossal Squig again? I hope they do. I hope they release a colossal Squig. A colossal armored Squig. Yeah. There you go, circle of Squigs. Because Temu is not censored on chat sometimes. Oh, she can mold of the rats into exploding Total War 3. Summon the Squiggoff. The Squiggoff. The gargantuan Squig. The colossal Squig. And the super Squiggoff. Yeah. I don't know if the Squiggoff was ever in fantasy. I know we had the colossal Squig and stuff. Oh. I'm tired, I'm yawning. Okay, with this, I've got a heart, you guys. Wait, can I turn these? Can I create the Squig heart? Can I create the Squig heart? Can I, chameleon? We come and go. We come and go. Can I, Squig? Do. Okay, that's the closest to a love heart we can actually do. Okay, that's a Squig. Not Squig, a love heart. Yes, Squig a love heart. Squig a love heart. Yeah. Okay. Squig heart to you. Thanks for coming to the stream, everyone. It was nice having you here. I hope to see you again in a future stream. I'll be upping the schedule today, and at the same time, or roughly after, I'll be doing a members only poll for what we're going to do in the members stream. It's going to be some sort of tier list. We're going to make a tier list together in the members stream on Wednesday. Yeah. So goodbye, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Hope you had fun today. Work hard, play harder, all of that good stuff. Sleep well, eat lots of good food. Dream of cupcakes, but don't eat the cupcakes because they're friends, not food. Yeah. Bye-bye. Love you all. Yay. Potato.
Toby.
Stop talking about Toby.